After a loss last night at Doran Park, the Braves look to bounce back here at Eldridge Park against the Orleans Firebirds. Welcome into a pregame Tomahawk Talk, I was going to say, but, that's weird. That's already happened.
You already did that.
This is Before the Bravos, our Braves pregame show. Calvin Cristoforo and Nick Galley with you from Eldridge Park. And, Nick, I'll start with this. The Braves have won in 9 different stadiums this season.
Mm-hmm.
The only one they haven't is right here in Orleans, and we have an opportunity to see the Braves do just that tonight.
That'd be crazy. It'd just be another one of those accolades to tack on to this season that's been already historic. You might as well make it more historic.
They can do that tonight. They can also clinch the West Division tonight for the first time since 2014. The Braves have already clinched a spot in the postseason. They can clinch the West Division crown one of two ways tonight, a win or a tie here at Eldridge Park, which would be the favorable option.
Mm-hmm.
But option 2, they can back their way in to the number 1 seed if Falmouth loses or ties tonight. They're on the road at Veterans Field in Chatham. So that'll be an interesting development. I'm sure Reeves and Daniel on the call will keep you posted with what's going on in Chatham. That's also a game starting at 7 o'clock like this one is here at Eldridge Park. Last night, though, I mentioned the loss. The Braves couldn't get it done, a 7-4 defeat. And the pitching, it suffered some bad luck, I would say. Jordan Petty gave up 4 runs. But 7 runs, the most the Braves have given up in a loss all season, and that 3-run differential in the defeat ties the 5-2 differential from the loss in Chatham. So all in all, just a night you'd like to flip the page on relatively quickly.
Just a weird night all around, kind of a weird game. Obviously there was, the Grand Slam call. We don't need to get into it again, but, just one of those nights that nothing seems to really go right, and the offense had some opportunities to get back into it. Bases loaded, no outs. I think they only scrapped across 2 runs in that inning by the time everything was said and done. So, tonight, Bourne just needs to be a little bit better, get the offense going earlier, make the most of each opportunity. And if they can do that, they should be able to come out on top.
Absolutely, they should. But there was some positive takeaways from last night. Tanner Schobel hits his 3rd home run of the season, a 2-run home run to left field. But the more encouraging sign was Josh Moylan, who has really struggled all summer. He was 5 for 45 coming into that at-bat last night. Finally got his first home run, and it was a no-doubter. It was a bomb to right field at Doran last night. So hopefully that will get the first baseman rolling a little bit.
Yeah.
He's back in the lineup tonight, so we'll see if he can build off that homer from last night.
Yeah, I know I talked to him. I know you talked to him. We told both of us that it definitely gives him some confidence, an added boost of confidence. And that basically, no matter how hard you try when you're in a slump like that, you still get down on yourself. No matter how hard you try not to think about it, it still gets to you a little bit. So he said to have that home run is huge.
Yeah.
And it's a huge confidence booster. So I'm thinking maybe that could be the hit that brings back East Carolina Josh Moylan to the Cape. And we'll start to see that. He hit 6 home runs at ECU. The kid hit .310.
Yeah, I believe he was top 8 in the American, top 10 in the American batting average.
Yeah, we know he has it in him to play at a high level, and there'd be no better time for him to start peaking as this team is really starting to go through large transitions.
Yeah, absolutely. So Josh Moylan, if he can start to get hot, that would add a completely another element to this offense, who, like you mentioned, is losing guys. If you're just joining us, Josh Moylan is starting to get hot, but Braylon Wimmer is gone. He has left the Bourne Braves. One of a couple roster moves we expect to see within the next couple of days. Braylon, he was a valuable asset to this team. Not only was he a middle-of-the-order bat, he was a guy who can play in the outfield, a guy who can play in the infield, but he's no longer here in Bourne, so other guys and maybe Moylan need to step up.
Yeah, I mean, with Braylon Wimmer, sudden move it seemed like, and from what I've heard, they're looking at guys to bring in now, and they got a few names down of potential options that they're looking at, so someone will be brought in soon. But yeah, Braylon Wimmer is a huge loss. One of the RBI leaders on this team, or that was on this team, had 16 RBIs on the season. That was second behind Dalton Rushing. So a guy that was clutch in big situations, and we saw him come through a lot of the time. I mean, he is responsible for a few of these Braves wins and ties.
Yeah.
Or at least he played a huge role in it. So very, very tough loss. I'm not sure if the transaction has officially been made yet. I know last time I checked it was not yet official, but He's definitely not here anymore, and he's headed home. So
Yep.
tough loss for Bourne.
He's no longer with the team. He had the home run on opening day that
Yeah.
gave the Braves some breathing room. He had the RBI single in the bottom of the ninth inning to tie that game 3-3 with Chatham a couple weeks back, a guy who has been in the middle of the Braves order all season long. A tough loss for this Braves team, but the season rolls on and the game rolls on. I mentioned the Braves haven't won here at Eldridge Park this season, but that doesn't mean they haven't been here. They were here a couple weeks back. That game ended in a 2-2 tie. A couple of balls in the outfield. The wind was blowing in.
Yeah.
They didn't get out of the park. There would most certainly be home runs tonight on a very clear, kind of windless night.
Yeah.
If there is any wind, it's very, very slow and non-existent. So we'll see if the home run ball gets out of the yard tonight. But on the mound, Jake Bennett pitched a great game, 3 innings, gave up 1 run last time the Braves were here, and he gets the ball again tonight, trying to go back up against an Orleans offense that we both know is very, very dangerous.
Yeah, again, I mean, I've said it before. I will say it again. I never like when a starter goes against the same team in a relatively short time span. When were we last here? Probably 2-3 weeks ago, right?
Yep.
So, it's a longer time span, no doubt about it. But Orleans has seen this guy before. They know what he's got a little bit. But in the words of Michael Sansone, what he told me the other night when he faced Chatham for the second time in a pretty short time period, he said hitters make adjustments. They start to know the pitcher. But pitchers start to know the hitters as well, and they make adjustments. Yeah. So Jake Bennett, he's going to have to make some adjustments tonight. Whether or not they pay off, we're going to find that out. But if there's any guy who you feel pretty confident with throwing out against another or the same team for the second time, Jake Bennett's one of those guys. I mean, he has been fantastic this year. Expect more of the same tonight. He's going to keep the Bourne Braves in this game. We know that because, I mean, he's not a kid that gets shelled. So he's going to keep Bourne in this game. Again, it's going to come down. Can the offense support the pitching staff?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see who the guy behind him is, the next guy out of the pen. So it'll be interesting to see what the Braves do tonight at Eldridge Park, which is 300 to left field, 314 to right. So definitely a hitter's ballpark. It is 434 out to dead center, but if you can pull the ball more often than not, it's going to leave the yard. So, and especially with a team with Chase DeLauder and Tyler Locklear, 2 of the best power bats in the Cape in Orleans.
Yep.
It's going to be critical to keep the ball in the ballpark. So we'll
100%.
see if Jake Bennett can do just that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Bourne has one thing they've done very well, I think, is they don't allow a ton of home runs.
2 last night.
Yeah, 2 that was kind of the first.
Well, 2 last night and then 2 against Orleans.
Yeah, as of late, it's been a little
4 in the last
little
3
rocky.
games, yeah.
But I mean, sometimes like the home runs, they're not like 3-run, grand slam home runs. I mean, they're usually solo shots, 2-run home runs at most for the most part. So, and a lot of times they're not game-changing home run. I mean, that's the one thing. Like a game-changing home run is different than a solo shot when your opponent's down 10-4 or whatever. But for the most part, they've been able to limit the home run ball, and they got to do that tonight against a team that is no stranger to the long ball.
Absolutely. So Jake Bennett's goal is to keep the ball in the yard and let his defense do the work. Let's meet the defense. Let's talk about the Braves starting lineup. Behind Jake Bennett tonight, Joe Lampe leads things off. There's no Christian Knapczyk. He's away from the team for about 5 days. He'll be back, though, in Bourne, so don't get too worried about Christian Knapczyk not being in the lineup. But he's not here tonight, so Joe Lampe's back in the leadoff spot playing center field.
He's hit safely in 3 of his last 4 games, couple of hits last night. So Joe Lampe, back at the top of the lineup, he's been getting on base. He's been getting hits for this team, so I like him in that spot again.
Hopefully he can keep that rolling and get on base for Max Anderson, the third baseman tonight, batting second.
Max Barrels, I mean, this is a guy that I'd like to see the home run ball from Max Anderson.
Well, he got close last night.
He did. And he also, last time he was here, got real close.
Yep.
But the wind probably brought it in a little bit. So
just the 1 home run for him on the season?
I believe so, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Max Anderson, I'd like to see this guy put one out tonight, and I think he will.
Okay,
I'm going to say it.
All right. You like Max Anderson going yard tonight? Dalton Rushing, a guy who you got to imagine is going to get into another one at some point. His last home run came 2 Fridays back against YD, a guy with a great left-handed hitting swing at a park that is pretty favorable to left-handed bats.
314 to right, so I'm sure Dalton Rushing he knows the distance to right field tonight. And I wouldn't be surprised if he knew the distance even more after you put one out. So Max Anderson, the top of this lineup tonight.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Couple of guys to watch.
1, 2, 3 is set there, and this is where things get interesting because a week ago it would have been Braylon Wimmer 4, Caden Wallace 5, Colby Thomas 6. No Wimmer, no Wallace, so Colby Thomas makes his first appearance in the cleanup spot this season.
Yeah, Colby Thomas might be the new cleanup hitter for this team until we kind of see how the lineup plays out with the new additions. But next man up.
Absolutely.
Do your job. A little bit of the New England Patriots lingo there, but next man up, you got to fill in the role. Colby Thomas, we know he has the power. We know he has a swing. So let's see if he can manufacture the runs in the cleanup spot.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I think he's definitely capable of doing so.
Yeah.
It's just if he gets those runs and produces when he's up in a big spot. He's hitting 4th. Tanner Schobel hitting 5th, just where he was last night when he once again hit that 2-run home run, his 3rd of the season.
If you had to guess what Tanner Schobel's batting over his last 20 at-bats, what would you say?
His last 20 at-bats?
Last 20 at-bats,
I would say 385.
350. You're very close. So 350 is still pretty darn good.
He seems like he's hitting the ball hard pretty much every time he's at the plate.
He's in the zone right now, and I remember when he told me like a week ago that it's tough to get in a groove when you're not playing every day. Now he's playing every day, and he's in a groove.
Yeah.
So.
And with no Christian Knapczyk, he's playing short tonight, which is something that I believe that you
I
really
love him.
like.
I love him at short. I do. I really do. I love. I think we've probably seen one error from him, and it was.
He did that error against Falmouth the other night.
A few nights ago.
Yep.
That's the only error I can think of from him, and he's been stellar defensively. So he's a guy I really like in between 3rd and 2nd.
Yes.
I really like him over there.
So he's there tonight hitting 5th. Behind him is Nick Goodwin, making his 3rd start of the season in left field. A couple weeks ago, got his first career start in the outfield, playing left field against Wareham. Since then, made another start, and tonight is back out there with no Braylon Wimmer. You're going to need Nick Goodwin until reinforcements come in to be strong or good enough out in left field.
He made a great catch the other night in Chatham. Absolutely unbelievable.
Did, yep.
Ran about 60 yards and dove on the left field foul line over there. Made an unbelievable catch. And he's kind of like the new Braylon Wimmer when it comes to him playing in the field, a guy that can play middle infield over at second base. And I think we even saw Goodwin at 3rd earlier in the year. And then also he can play in left field. So this is a good utility guy. Question is, can he get the bat going? I don't think his bat is going to match Braylon Wimmer's, but it's going to need to help replace Braylon Wimmer's if you're going to want to see some offensive production from this lineup.
And he had a really, really good round of batting practice today. A couple guys in this Braves lineup looked good during the BP. To me, Nick Goodwin was one of them. So
sweet. Maybe
he gets the bat rolling. We're going to quick things up here as the Firebirds take the field. We're going to take a pause for the national anthem. We'll come back with the rest of the lineup and our picks to pop on the other side. You're listening to Before the Bravos, the Braves pregame show. We'll be back in just a minute. Quickly back here on Before the Bravos before first pitch between the Braves and the Orleans Firebirds. We'll catch you up on the lineup we got going so far. Joe Lampe leading off playing in center field. Max Anderson batting second at third. Dalton Rushing, the first baseman, hits third. Colby Thomas in right field hits fourth. Tanner Schobel, the shortstop, hits fifth. Nick Goodwin in left field hits sixth. And that'll round out the lineup for you, Nick. Zach Agnos playing at second base, hitting eighth. His East Carolina teammate behind him, Josh Moreland, hits eighth. And then John Garcia, making his second start of the season, catching tonight, batting ninth.
Looking to see how Agnos is looking after we've seen his power surge, and then also looking for Garcia's first hit. That'll be something to watch.
We'll see what John Garcia can do. Obviously a very sure-handed catcher behind the plate. So we're here. It's the point of the show. Give me your pick to pop.
I'm going to go with Joe Lampe again.
I'm going to go with Nick Goodwin. I liked his
right.
BP tonight. I think he's got a little bit of some more security because there's no Braylon Wimmer. He knows he's going to be playing left field tonight for the entire night. So I think Nick Goodwin is going to have a couple knocks tonight. I believe he had a couple knocks the last time when the Braves were here. So it should be a fun one. The Braves can clinch the West Division tonight with a win or a tie here in Orleans. Reeves and Daniel have the call from Eldridge Park. Enjoy the game, everybody.
An opportunity for history at Eldridge Park tonight. The Bourne Braves looking to clinch the Western Division with a win or a tie tonight. And if they fail to do that, well, they can still do it with a Falmouth loss or a tie themselves. They play the Chatham Anglers. It's Nathan Florence, the right-hander, on the mound against leadoff hitter Joe Lampe. We're underway on a beautiful night from Eldridge Park. First pitch at 7:01, a minute after schedule, as the Braves at 21-4-3, visiting Orleans for the third and final time this year at 10-13-4. That fastball misses high and away. A ball and a strike. The count. Daniel Coates, Reeves Jackson here. Said that backwards, but that's all right. Reeves Jackson with Daniel
Yeah, you're
Coates.
fine. Don't worry about it.
There's a strike on the outer half, 1-2. Daniel, what should we expect from Nathan Florence, who's making his first start this season?
You can expect the unexpected. We really don't know a lot about this pitcher. He's only gone 4 innings, and in those 4 innings, a 2.07 ERA coming into the game. He's let up a handful of runs, 5 in those 2 outings. From Hartford, he is an inexperienced guy when it comes to the Cape League. He's facing a Joe Lampe who is as experienced as any batter.
Lampe a bouncer to second. There is Peyton Chatinier on the toss over to Trey Harmon, and Joe Lampe a ground out victim and the first batter of the game.
Yeah, Joe Lampe just grounding that one out. An easy play from Chatinier. Joe Lampe has been on track as of late. Before the last 3 games, he was 0 for 15, and he really got things started with a beautiful bunt up the third base line, and now he is 7 of 22.
Breaking ball, called strike there to Max Anderson. And Max Anderson has been on a tear for the Braves of late. Has hit safely in 8 of his last 9 games. 13 for 37. That's good for a .351 average in that span. He chases through a high fastball, nothing into the count. Florence in his last outing, that was at Hyannis in a 13-1 loss. 3 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, although he did give up 4. All of those unearned due to some defensive miscues from Orleans. And 2 walks, struck out 7 of the 11 batters that he set down. 2-strike pitch here to Max. Bouncer up the middle. Ranging over the middle, Marcano. Throw to first. A nice play. He wouldn't know of any defensive miscues there. Nice play by David Marcano, 2 down.
We saw Marcano's twin brother Julio 2 nights ago. And a beautiful play there up the middle. I shouldn't say 4 nights ago, I believe.
Yeah, I believe
against,
so.
Against Peter Burns' walk-off single back at Doran Park. And this East Division matchups continue to come. We've handled them all fairly solidly other than the Harwich Mariners loss last night, and our first loss to the Mariners after we came back at their home turf this past week, 6 in the top of the 9th.
First pitch, a breaking ball outside to Rushing. 1-0 the count from the Hartford right-hander. As Rushing rips this to first. Can't hit it much harder, right in the glove of Trey Harmon. Braves go quickly in the top of the first. 1-2-3. It's the Braves 0. The Orleans Firebirds are up next. It is the big Oklahoma lefty, Jake Bennett, on the mound tonight for the Bourne Braves. Jake Bennett is making his 5th start of the season in his 6th appearance. And Jake making his 2nd consecutive start here at Orleans, the 2 times that the Braves have been here. The last time for Jake, 3 innings of 2-hit, 1-run baseball, walked 1, struck out 3. In his last start, Bennett 4 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, struck out 7. That was against Falmouth and the Braves walk-off win. First batter is Peyton Chatinier, and a ball down low. And Daniel almost kind of thanks Chatinier for hitting that home run off of Eric Adler because it allowed for an incredible night for Peter Burns.
Yeah, and in the moment, of course, that was the only blemish, and still is the only blemish on Eric Adler's resume, as that pitch misses outside for Jake Bennett. But, you know, for Peter Burns to come through in that situation, he's such a natural-born leader for this team behind the plate. Obviously, John Garcia stepping in for him today. I'm not sure if we're going to see him. However, that was really a special moment in this season. We were talking about it. Maybe we've had a handful of late-night dramatics, but I think that might have been my favorite.
Chatinier, line drive into left field, a base hit in front of Nick Goodwin. And aboard early is Chatinier with a leadoff single. 7 for his last 21 coming into the game tonight, make it 8 for his last 22. And a big story of the game tonight, mainly offensively, but we'll bring it up here in the bottom of the first, the loss of Braylon Wimmer. Braylon, who has now departed from the team, a little unexpectedly you could say, but knew he was going to be going home early due to the SEC play, but didn't expect it to be this early. So Braylon not here anymore. Did get an outfielder called Strike, but who is going to have to supplant this team in left field. And I say that because Goodwin the other night, defensively, with a miscue. Wasn't called an error. That was against Chatham. Braves able to take that game 2-1.
Good play from Garcia behind the plate. He catcher, and as you mentioned, Reeves, we thought Braylon Wimmer was going to be the player to step in the lineup for Caden Wallace. Now this lineup is really whittling down to the core guys that started off this summer here on the Cape. Tanner Schobel stepping into the middle of the lineup. He's been hot as of late.
Grounded to third. Anderson flips it over to second. Agnos for 1 and on to Rushing for a 5-4-3 double play. A pitcher's best friend right there, and 2 down for the Braves.
How about that? That is smooth as butter. Great play from Max Anderson at third. They swing it around, and a big stretch from Dalton Rushing. Jake Bennett off to a good start and taking care of 2 outs here, and the first base runner for the Firebirds.
Here is Luke Keischel, right fielder, tonight for the Firebirds. Lefty-righty matchup. Keischel in the right-handed batter's box, grounds it on the hole to short. Schobel backhands, gonna have to make a strong and good throw. He does, but a little too late. As Keischel beats the wrap, Rushing had to jump in the air to get it, and a 2-out infield single for Keischel.
How about that play from Dalton Rushing, jumping up with the leg split, trying to grab him behind the back with the tag, but he was too late. A really tough play for what looks to be Tanner Schobel over there at short, and it is.
Well, Luke Keischel, a guy that the Braves just have not been able to get out, was 4 for 5 when Orleans came to Bourne. Obviously did not appear in that first time as the lefty Chase DeLauder steps in, and off on the move is Keischel. Throw from Garcia, way late, an incredible jump. Went on first movement and timed up Bennett perfectly. A stolen base for Keischel, a tormentor of the Bourne Braves. 5 for 6 now. Was caught stealing 2 nights ago against the Wareham Gatemen. But talk about Keischel. He is on an absolute tear. Here's Chase DeLauder, though. Count 1-0. This one, a chopper to Bennett. No one's going to be covering first. It was in between Rushing and Bennett in no man's land, and there was a little confusion of who wanted to get the ball. And that'll go as an infield single. So 3 hits allowed by Jake Bennett in this first, and DeLauder is aboard and is a guy that hit a home run, a moonshot against the Braves at Doran Park. Tyler Locklear, who hit his 8th the night ago, and Daniel leading the league in home runs.
Yeah, and we saw one the other night, and not a great play there. Just some miscommunication. Again, that has been the kryptonite for the defense, but Locklear leads in home runs with 8.
With his teammate DeLauder.
Unbelievable. This team knows how to hit it out of the park. That one's hit foul. As you mentioned, Reeves, Keishel, 408 average on the season. I mean, he has been on a tear, like you said. Not much better you can do, and he's far and away the leader in average for the Firebirds. Behind him is 300 Costello.
Swing and a miss. Beautiful changeup there from Bennett. The first pitch was a strike. Now it's 0-2. Keishel with that hit, that infield single over to Schobel, extending his hitting streak to 10 games. Easily the hottest hitter on this team from the University of San Francisco. 0-2. Bennett out of the stretch. Runners on the corners to the righty, Locklear. Bennett delivers on the move. Is DeLauder. Fastball inside. No throw from Garcia.
Locklear is not only the leader on this team in home runs as well as the Cape, but he's also the leader in RBIs with 22, and he is primed for an opportunity to add to that here. Men on second and third. Second stolen base for the Firebirds.
1-2. This one grounded over to third and foul.
And I think the reason why they've been able to take these bases is just the slower delivery from Bennett. You know, Garcia behind the plate is one of the best stand-up throwing catchers in this league. And even his gun that we saw in practice early on in the pregame was not able to beat two Firebirds.
1-2 here to Locklear. Bennett delivers. Little pop-up rushing over, unable to get to it as that one trickles towards the foul line fence. Locklear, who leads this team in RBIs, tied for second in the league with Owen Diodati with 22. The leader, Brock Wilkin, who blasted a home run a night ago, has 24. Dalton Rushing in there in the top 10 with 17 driven in. Bennett will deal again. Runners on second and third. 1-2 to Locklear. Breaking ball in the dirt. What a stop there by Garcia. That one was diving into the feet of Tyler Locklear. Garcia, a nice stab at it with the chest and keeps it in front of him. Count 2-2 with 2 on and 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Orleans threatening early.
Something that I noticed about Garcia is that he's an aggressive catcher. When a ball comes into the dirt, he's jumping at it. When a player is running on him.
2-2 and Locklear launches high and deep to left. No doubt about it. And Orleans strike first with a 3-run homer for the now league leader with 9 homers, Tyler Locklear. Well, this place is a launching pad and playing that way early. 4 hits for the Firebirds.
And Tyler Locklear now completely in the lead with 9 in the Cape League, and that was an absolute no-doubter, as you mentioned, Reeves. Sky high into the blue sky here at Eldridge Park, 3-0, and I thought we were going to be out of the top of the first quickly, but Jake Bennett now struggling here early, giving up a handful of hits and 3 runs. Bennett has only thrown 16 pitches. But how about Locklear? He completely annihilated that ball.
Not a guy that's fun to pitch to as Jake Bolger steps in. First pitch changeup called strike. Well, the Braves, who obviously coming into this night needing a win or a tie for their own destiny, if they want to clinch this Western Division, can still do it if Falmouth loses or ties. This one spoiled away, 0-2. But not a good start for the Bourne Braves, who were hurt by the controversial grand slam a night ago by Dylan Phillips. Obviously, even if it was a ground rule double, Harwich had 2 runners on at second and third, nobody out. There's a swing and a miss, breaking ball in the dirt. Drop third strike. Garcia pops out and fires a strike over to Rushing. But Orleans with a big bottom of the first. 3 runs on 4 hits. And the big blow, a Tyler Locklear 3-run homer as we head to the second. Well, a new look lineup for the Braves tonight, and that starts here with the cleanup hitter, Colby Thomas, who will replace Braylon Wimmer in the 4 spot in this Braves lineup. Tanner Schobel, who was hitting 5th a night ago, back in the 5 spot as Colby lays down a bunt. It's nice down the third base line, a little closer to the pitcher's mound, throw to first in time. Nice play there from Nathan Florence.
It's as good as a bunt as you are going to see from Colby Thomas, just unable to beat it out. Florence popped up really quickly and gunned it over to first, something that I'm optimistic about moving forward in this game, obviously trailing by 3, is that all 4 batters that we have seen have made contact off of Florence, just haven't found the space yet. But talk about a guy who can make contact, Tanner Schobel, and he does it again.
Ground ball to short. Right there is Marcano and tosses over to first for the second out. Well, the Braves are getting contact, but they are going down quickly. A speedy top of the first and even faster top of the second as Schobel grounds out after he hit a 2-run homer last night. And here is Nick Goodwin, someone who has struggled mightily at the plate. Goodwin is 0 for his last 19. Does have 2 games of 3+ hits this year.
Yeah, Schobel, 283. That one doesn't help. All ground balls that have stayed in the infield for the Braves, and it just has been a lackluster start. Hopefully Nick Goodwin can right the ship in a way.
Well, Goodwin, who took that first pitch to avoid a 3-pitch inning, takes the second pitch for a strike at the knees, 1-1 the count. Pretty much overall blue skies above, a little hazy off in the distance. Breaking ball, Goodwin fouls it off of his foot, had the shin guard, and it didn't hit it. Ooh, that was right off the top of the foot, maybe the side of it.
That is a stinger for sure. A lot of power, and it just went right down onto the foot of Nick Goodwin. On deck is Zach Agnos, who the last time he was here, he had a 2-for-4 night, a triple and a double. Impressive stuff, but Nick Goodwin's role now has increased mightily. We thought it was going to increase, and it did with the departure of Caden Wallace. Now, with no Braylon Wimmer, that is magnified.
Fastball high. It's where the catcher, Guillemette, wanted it. As the defensive alignment, Braves went down so quick in the first, and even here in the second. Left to right, Bolger, DeLauder, and Keishel as Goodwin swings and misses. We'll get you the rest of that when the Braves are back up. They go 1-2-3 again in the second as we head to the bottom half, 3-0 Orleans. Reeves Jackson and Daniel Coates back with you from Eldridge Park on a beautiful night in Orleans, Massachusetts. Bottom of the second inning. It's 3-0 Orleans. We'll keep an eye on the out-of-town scores for the entirety of the night. Obviously, big implications over at Veterans Field in Chatham, where Falmouth is playing. First pitch Bennett to the 7-hole hitter and first baseman, right-handed hitting, wearing number 49, Trey Harmon. The Orleans Firebirds in their Marcus Stroman black uniforms with the white numerals, red outline with the all-white pants, no piping on them. As the breaking ball that Harmon swings through on a check swing 1-1 the count. Braves, obviously, you know what they're wearing. Their classic navy blue road uniforms, Bourne script, red lettering, white outline, red caps, blue bill, with the gray pants and the red piping down the side. One of the cleanest road looks in all of the Cape League, I think, Daniel.
Yeah, I love the Braves aways, but the black and red is really nice from Orleans.
Beautiful.
But Jake Bennett poses this well. He needs a quick inning here just for confidence if he's going to be moving forward. A good stop there by Garcia off a breaking ball that's in the dirt. But let's talk about Harmon real quick. The last time we were at Doran Park, Harmon hit a couple of bombs, and all of them just leaked foul towards left field line, and Braylon Wimmer was out there and had to deal with that. But Harmon can put a beating on the ball. I'm surprised he doesn't have any home runs on the season.
Harmon takes a changeup outside. The old foul ball home run, and he pimped him too. He was ready to jog down the first baseline. Count runs full here. Harmon really choking up here with 2 strikes, trying to shorten that swing. Not much wind tonight. As opposite we saw last time, 3-2 changeup, high and away. Then Bennett loses him after he was even 2-2. It's a leadoff walk.
Yeah, just not the start from Bennett and not the start that we are used to. He's thrown for 26 pitches, 15 of them strikes, 11 of them balls. That's his first walk given up. Another walk clear homer.
This is Guillemette, the catcher, fly ball to right. Colby Thomas mans that position today and makes the catch for the first out. Good pitch there, first pitch fastball from Jake Bennett. And with 1 down, here is David Marcano from New Jersey Institute of Technology, NJIT. Him and his twin brother, Julio Marcano, were both in the lineup when the Braves first visited Orleans. Last game it was Julio. Tonight it's just David. The right-handed hitting. Shortstop shows bunt, gets it down. That is a perfect bunt. Bennett fields, and he's not going to have a play. Just a gorgeous bunt there by Marcano, and it's first and second.
That completely stopped in the thick grass here at Eldridge Park. Nothing that Garcia or Bennett could do in a first and second situation just like that. The 9-spot hitter getting it done and setting it up to Peyton Chatinier, who started the game with a single.
Here is Chatinier. He singled. He was forced at second on a double play. There's a changeup outside called strike. The Braves were really so close to evading that big first inning from Orleans. A leadoff single by Chatinier, but then Mickness bounced out of the 5-4-3 double play ball from Anderson Agnos over to Rushing. Keishel then had an infield single. It was just some bad luck for Bennett. And then DeLauder had the slow tapper that there wasn't much communication between Bennett and Rushing. Allowed the runner to reach as a swing and a miss. Big swing there on a fastball from Chatinier, and it's 0-2.
Chatinier 1 for 1, 289, 12 RBIs, and 4 home runs.
Yeah, better that average with a first inning single. Now in the 290s, 0-2. Fastball and fouls it away. Talked about it in the pregame show. Bennett loves attacking with his fastball with 2 strikes. Usually likes to run it in on the hitters. That one was away. Big crowd tonight in Orleans, as we expected on a Monday night. Would love to see this place on a weekend.
Gorgeous. And look at that sun over there. Perfect in the sky. Still a bit hazy, like you mentioned, Reeves, but one of the coolest atmospheres to watch a game in here at Orleans. You have the hill over there on the right, filled with fans on blankets and chairs.
That one bounces in the dirt. Good stop there from John Garcia. Well, we'll be updating you pretty much in live time with Falmouth and Chatham. That game, obviously, as I mentioned, at Veterans Field, so that also a start time of 7 o'clock. So the pace of each game should mirror each other in similar ways. And we'll talk about that through the development of this game, in which Bennett here in a 1-2 count, trying to escape the bottom of the second. 1-2 delivery, changeup, swing, and a miss. Big pitch right there. And the second out there for Jake Bennett.
Yeah, and the second strikeout. It's a confidence booster, and with 2 outs, men on first and second, an opportunity to strand them might just be the momentum swinger that we need.
Here's Mickness. He bounced into that double play. The lefty hitting designated hitter. Saw Mickness behind the plate the last time when Orleans was at Bourne a few nights ago. Lefty-lefty here with 2 down. Good stop there by Garcia.
Yeah, and as I was saying, Garcia, he attacks defensively. When he sees a ball going into the dirt, he jumps forward. When he sees a man taking off to second or third, he's up and at him quickly. Jake Bennett with a slower delivery, and I think that's kind of been the kryptonite as far as trying to catch these Orleans Firebirds. Already 2 stolen bases.
Good pitch on a fastball, but just missed.
But Garcia, you can already see how sound his fundamentals are defensively. I mean, even watching him in warm-ups, that throw and the release is as quick as anyone I've seen down here in this league.
2-0. This one is grounded over to short. Schobel will go the short way to Agnos, and they force Marcano at second. Good job by Jake Bennett to work around a leadoff walk and a 1-out bunt single. He leaves 2 on as we head to the top of the third, with Orleans still leading by 3. Reeves Jackson and Daniel Coates back with you here in the top of the third inning. Agnos, Moylan, and Garcia as I turn things over to Daniel Coates.
Agnos' first pitch swinging high and deep to center field. It's going to be a routine fly for DeLauder, who we saw a lot of on Friday night. Zach Agnos, another victim to Florence. That is 7 in a row that Florence has retired. He's only thrown for 20 pitches on the night. 3-0 after a Locklear 3-run shot over the shallow left field. And here comes Joshua Moylan, and Moylan with a solo shot last night in the loss to the Harwich Mariners. 0-1, a breaking ball inside, and here's the second. Breaking ball low and outside for ball 1, 1-1. And Joshua Moylan looked really good in batting practice. We both noticed that, Reeves.
Yeah, Josh Moylan was smoking some balls in BP. And he told Coach KG, just needed to see one fly. Just needed to see one. And he did.
1-1 swung on a fastball high. And Moylan with a home run last night, and that was his first of the year. Hopefully something that can kickstart him coming into today with a 127 average. The 1-2 taken low and inside, 2-2. Moylan from ECU, and on deck John Garcia in his second start behind the plate. 2-2 Florence. The delivery just a bit low with a breaking ball, and a great eye from Moylan. 6 for 47. He's had 3 RBIs and 1 home run. On a picture-perfect night here at Eldridge Park, an opportunity for the first base runner and a payoff pitch. This one taken right towards the shortstop Marcano and into his glove, a line out to the left side of the infield. And again, Moylan just a victim of his own misfortune. He's hitting the ball so well, but is having trouble finding the gaps, and another example there. Joe Lampe, the top of the order on deck, 8 in a row for Florence, and the Hartford kid making his first start for the Orleans Firebirds is making a statement. A breaking ball to Garcia, low and inside for ball 1.
Well, the Braves are making good contact with the ball. They're hitting the ball hard, as Moylan gives a scouting report again there to Joe. As that one missed outside, but the Braves have been hitting the ball hard. You had the lineup from Moylan really took that one the other way. You'd love to see that from the lefty. Agnos pieced one up, obviously flying out to center field, but just one strikeout for the Braves, and that was Nick Goodwin, as even Dalton Rushing back in the first pieced one over to Trey Harmon.
Well, 3-0 quickly to John Garcia. Another pitch high, 4 in a row, all of them balls, and Garcia is on base for the second time in his Braves tenure.
Yeah, Florence with 3 walks on the season. 2 came in his last outing and 1 in his first outing.
And here comes Joe Lampe. The Braves haven't had trouble making contact off of Florence. Rather, it's just been they haven't been able to get past the infield.
Yeah.
He shows bunt, pulls back. Garcia way off with the lead, but he scrambles back after Guillemette challenged him at first.
Yeah, Harmon's fastball sits 88 to 92. He's topped out at 94. And Lampe, a guy who sits safely in 5 of his last 7. Trying to extend that here today. 7 for 22 in that span, a 318 average after snapping that 0 for 15 slide at the plate prior to that.
Guillemette checks in on Florence at the mound after 6 straight balls, 2-0 to Joe Lampe. And as you mentioned, he's been getting back on track after the 0-15 cold streak that he was on for a bit of time when he was going in and out of the lineup.
Yeah, he's just seeing different pitches and seeing the ball better, made some adjustments at the plate.
He's also back at the one spot where he was most comfortable, it seemed, early on this season.
Yeah, and he's finding more comfort as well now. Obviously, he's going to be there for the next handful of days. Christian Knapczyk is away from the team for a few days due to family reasons, so we're excited to get Christian back when he's back, but Joe's going to fill that void for the time being.
Well, 2-1. Florence finds the strike zone with an 87-mile-per-hour. A bunt attempt, that's going to be popped foul down the third base line. 2-2. And it looks like Guillemette's meeting at the mound is working for Florence. Garcia remains at first.
Ants needed to settle him down, get him throwing strikes, exactly what he is doing now.
Two from the stretch, Florence. Check swing. It was missing high. Did he go? They say no. And a full count. A good job by Lampe to hold off.
Yeah, we're going to see the speed of the catcher Garcia now. He'll be off with the pitch.
Well, Joe coming into today, 280, 8 RBIs. Like you said, Reeves, 7 for 22 after an 0-15 stretch. There goes Garcia, and there goes Joe Lampe down to first. A fastball high and away. He held off. Good discipline by the Arizona State Sun Devil. And the Cornhusker looking to respond. There are 2 outs, but this is a short field anywhere other than center field. 434 to dead center. Breaking ball right into the middle of the zone to Anderson, who grounded out too short.
Yeah, those gaps can play long as well. 350, not the furthest, but you get past that until you get to dead center. Almost very Polo Grounds-esque, if you ever heard of that stadium or know what it looks like, how the walls just keep angling outwards.
Breaking ball, there goes Garcia. It's unable to be handled by Guillemette, and he makes it to third, first and third situation with Joe Lampe at first. Have to imagine Joe Lampe is thinking in his head that he has to go. We're not sure what Harvey Shapiro thinks.
Yeah.
But there's a first and third situation with 2 outs.
Yeah, I think Joe just didn't get a good read on that dirt ball. Joe easily had second base.
1-1. Swing and a miss high. Throw down to Lampe. He's safe at first. But now 2 strikes to Max Anderson. He had a ground rule double yesterday. 1-2. Anderson looking to keep this inning alive. This one drilled to left field. It gets down. Garcia will score. Actually, it is caught. Apologies. We cannot see around this hill, but that was a line out right to Bulger. And a great catch to end the top of the third. Garcia will not score, and the Bourne Braves remain scoreless here, moving towards the bottom of the third. Not sure if we'll see Jake Bennett, but the Braves are trailing early on. Bottom of the third, 3-0. The Orleans Firebirds still are your leaders after a 3-run shot from Tyler Locklear that has propelled him to the top spot as the leader in home runs for the Firebirds and the Cape League. First pitch from Bennett, low and away, and a swing and a miss from Luke Keischel. Keischel was the first run of the night after his base knock back in the bottom of the first. Foul ball right towards the Orleans Firebirds dugout, and we have a new Bourne Brave taking over for Nick Goodwin in left field. Lucas Costello from Wake Forest in his first appearance and first action here on the Cape League.
Yeah, Lucas Costello, not sure obviously if Goodwin, that foul ball, had anything to do with it. I assume it did, and why he's out of the game now.
A slow dribbler cutting across his shoulder, an underhand throw. Did he get him? They say he did. Great play from Tanner Schobel and a better scoop from Dalton Rushing.
Yeah, what a play there by Tanner Schobel. Just deflected off of the leg of Jake Bennett. Schobel ranging over the middle. Made a nice play, and then with a sidearm throw over to Rushing. That was gorgeous from Tanner. He is so sure-handed defensively.
Up is DeLauder. No one on. Bennett misses low and outside, but as you were saying, Lucas Costello from Wake Forest University.
Yeah, Costello will now get his first chance to also hit for the Braves. Obviously, the Braves losing Braylon Wimmer, so Costello hoping to be a welcome addition. A strike there from Bennett on the outer half of the fastball. Costello at Wake this past season. Get you some numbers on him. He hit .279. He blasted 5 home runs. He drove in 31 and had 50 hits and 179 at-bats. 2-1 count now.
Well, a welcome sight after the departure of Braylon Wimmer. Just before that, Caden Wallace. A fastball just missing high and outside. A 3-1 count to DeLauder, the center fielder who's 1 for 1 on the day. He has 8 home runs and 17 RBIs, 29 for 99. This is his 101st at bat. That's going to be a strike and a 3-2 count and a payoff pitch. And he has been here from James Madison University since the very beginning. Big moment here for Bennett, the 3-2. Swing and a miss off an off-speed pitch, and Garcia will throw it around the horn, 2 outs. And Jake Bennett looks like he's a bit more comfortable. That 3-run bomb from Tyler Locklear, who is up now, is the only runs that are on the board at the moment. Here at Eldridge Park, 3-0, and Locklear, I mean, boy, oh boy, what a stretch he is on.
Yeah, he's on an incredible stretch right now, just a power surge.
A hard-hit ground ball up the middle, fielded by Agnos. He turns over and throws it to Dalton Rushing across his body for out number 3. And the Braves put down the Firebirds 1, 2, 3. Costello making his first appearance for the Braves, and he will make his first appearance for the Braves soon at home plate. Top of the fourth, 3-0. The Firebirds are your leader, protecting their home turf at Eldridge Park. Dalton Rushing up against Florence. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Check swing off a breaking ball. Did he go? They say he did not. A good hold off from Rushing, who's batting .285. 4 homers and 17 RBIs. The RBI leader on this team. Fastball on the inner half. That's going to catch. 1-1, and Dalton Rushing hit an absolute laser over to Harmon at first. Harmon didn't have to do anything except extend the arm and close the glove.
Yeah, it was right to him.
2-1, a breaking ball in the dirt. Colby Thomas on deck. Florence has thrown just about 40 pitches, 40 exactly. He's made quick work of the Braves, and a breaking ball there on the outside to Rushing. It's now 2-2.
Well, as Calvin mentioned, Bourne going for a win at every stadium here in this 2021 Cape Cod League summer season. And Orleans would be win number 9 as that breaking ball misses downstairs. They got Chatham done. You mentioned that on the pregame show. Chatham was a team the Braves had struggled with, but they beat them at Veterans Field Saturday and tied Orleans. So they didn't lose here, but trying to win here.
Trying to make this the second win against the Orleans Firebirds this week. Swing and a miss. Dalton Rushing goes down for the second time tonight, this time on a swinging strikeout from Florence. That is 0 for 13 now for Dalton Rushing in his last 13 appearances to the plate. Colby Thomas facing 1 out, no men on, and Florence has made an impressive impression here at Eldridge Park in his first start for the Firebirds. You wouldn't guess that, as first pitch low and outside. 1-0 to Colby Thomas.
Yeah, Colby, who was red hot that week of July 12th to the 19th, just 2 for his last 17 after a first inning ground out.
A swing and a miss off a high fastball, 88. Florence is sitting at that 88 spot. He's scratched 90 just once.
Yeah, Colby enjoyed that huge week. 347 average, 3 homers, 10 ribbies, all in the same week, Monday to Monday.
1-1 drifting high. Now 2-1 to Thomas, 16 for 68, 3 homers and 10 RBIs. Not as windy tonight as our last appearance here in Orleans. 300 down the left field line Locklear has already taken advantage. Hard hit, ground ball to the third baseman, scooped up cleanly, gunned over for out number 2. Locklear to Harmon for out number 2. And the Braves continue to hit it hard, but they cannot get past this stout infield for the Firebirds.
Yeah, as we see Lucas Costello grab a bat, he's on deck now. Wake Forest kid will be hitting for Nick Goodwin as Tanner Schobel, who bounced out to shortstop his first time, comes to the plate here with 2 down against Nathan Florence, who's looking sharp as Schobel showed bunt pulled back. But Daniel, he's just pitching to contact, and he's getting the job done.
And so is this infield. Locklear with the homer and making another statement play, 1-0. That one's going to hit the helmet of Tanner Schobel off a breaking ball, 77 miles per hour. No hesitation, he's down, hit by a pitch. And we're going to get the first look at Lucas Costello, the Demon Deacon, who is now taking over for Nick Goodwin. On deck is Zach Agnos, but a guy who coming down the stretch could need to be a key player who steps up after the departure of Caden Wallace shortly after Braylon Wimmer. We saw Braylon, and we were expecting him to be a crucial part of the middle of the lineup as we move closer towards the playoffs.
Yeah, at least
welcome Lucas Costello. I mean, we're expecting nothing less than that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough shoes to fill, obviously. But here, excited to get a first look at Lucas. As I mentioned, 279 hitter, 5 homers, 31 driven in at Wake. And that was his freshman season. So, you know, it's tough, obviously, coming to a new team. But we know this Braves team with a welcoming personality and obviously a big group of close guys. So Lucas will be welcomed right in, and it'll be even easier if he can do it offensively as well.
Ooh, and a late called strike now, 1-1 off a fastball, 87 from the hand of Florence, who has 9 strikeouts now on the season. That was his 52nd pitch. 2 outs, top of the 4th. Tanner Schobel at first. Breaking ball, first swing from Costello, no good. That one drops just shy of the plate in the dirt, 1-2.
A good breaking ball there from Florence. Had Costello out on his front foot and swang through it. Got to choke up here and protect with 2 strikes. Maybe send something into right field and get Zach Agnos to the plate with 2 down.
A 1-2. Swing and a miss off a high fastball. Lucas Costello's first appearance to the plate for the Braves results in a swinging strikeout. Florence continues to deal, and the defense for the Firebirds continues to hold stout. 3-0. The Firebirds are your leader as the Bourne Braves look to get win number 22 on the road. Back with you in the home half of the 4th. Jake Bennett still on the mound, showing bunt. Pulling back, though, is Jake Bolger, who struck out at the hands of Jake Bennett. 3-0. The Firebirds have the lead early on in this game. And if you look at the stats, Reeves, Jake Bennett's night hasn't done justice if you look at just the numbers he's posted. High fly ball. Pop fly. Looks like Dalton Rushing will chase it into foul territory for out number 1.
No, but you're right about that. Obviously, you take a look at the 3-run homer and you see 5 hits allowed, and you're like, wow, he's getting hit up tonight. Well, Chatinier had a nice hit for the first batter of the game. Line one to the left. Obviously, Bennett got the double play. But then an infield single from Keishel. You know, it was a 10-game hitting streak. And then DeLauder with that slow chopper that Bennett and Rushing couldn't communicate. That goes as a single as well. And then obviously 2 runners on in which those guys could have been out. Obviously, it was a tough play for Schobel. Not even saying he could have even had a chance with the speed of Keishel. But, you know, Bennett, the box score doesn't do it justice,
No.
obviously. Bennett has pitched better than the 3 runs and 5 hits would suggest.
And the defense has played well. It's just been some tough infield plays that they've had to make. So Jake Bennett is continuing to deal here and responding after a 3-run shot. A slow chopper over towards Max Anderson, fielded at his shoulder, gunned over to Dalton Rushing for an easy out number 2. And again, making an easy transition into a new inning. Jake Bennett, the all-star for the Braves, faces 2 outs here. And as I mentioned, a lot of infield action here tonight, especially for the Braves. You look at their stat line, they don't have any hits, but they're making contact all over the place.
Yeah, they are. They are. They're hitting the ball. I believe, what, 2 strikeouts? That was from Goodwin and then Costello. So in that, 6th spot in the lineup, or is that the 7th, 6th spot in the lineup? Yep.
Well, Jake Bennett is certainly keeping them in this game. And here comes Garrett Guillemette. High pop fly in foul territory. Garcia chasing after it. It gets just before the net and into the glove of Garcia for out number 3. A quick inning from Jake Bennett, and the Braves looking for their first hit and first runs here on the road at Eldridge Park. A new pitcher for the Firebirds, who we know quite well, Zach Morris, with his 3rd appearance against the Bourne Braves. In each of the 3 games, we have seen Morris from Arkansas, and we are going to see him again tonight. Hopefully, this is a new beginning for this Bourne Braves offense, who has not had a hit tonight.
Yeah, Morris, who obviously pitched against the Braves twice so far. And in that first outing, an inning and a thirds, he gave up 2 hits, no runs in that outing, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 1. And then against the Braves in the 4-3 loss, an inning and 2/3, 2 hits, 1 hit, 1 run, and 3 walks. So Morris struggled, obviously, at Dorn Park the other day, Daniel, because of his 3 walks. You know, it's just very uncharacteristic of Morris, who came into that game with just 4 on the season, then walked 3 against the Braves, so almost matched his season walk total in one night against Bourne, which was very uncharacteristic. So look for him to get back on track, throw strikes, and look to follow up the impressive outing of Nathan Florence, in which he threw 4 no-hit innings against the Bravos.
Agnos watches a fastball high and outside catch the corner. And I am going to send it over to my friend Reeves Jackson for the 5th and the 6th.
0-1 here to Agnos. Braves, as you mentioned, Daniel, still trying to find in search for their first hit of the game. Agnos watches that one downstairs from Morse. 1-1 the count.
And as I was mentioning, you look up and down this lineup, there's no lack of contact. It's just, Locklear, Marcano, Chatinier, and Harmon, the infield for the Orleans Firebirds, have had routine ground balls and plays that have kept the Braves from getting on base. The only times that we have gotten on base is when Tanner Schobel was hit by a pitch and John Garcia was walked. Only 2 base runners
that
they had to deal with.
And Lampe as well, a walk in the 3rd. As Agnos on a 2-1 chops it over to 3rd. Locklear coming in, gonna be a tough play. Agnos beats the wrap. And the Braves have their first hit of the day with an infield single. There you go. Well, with how many hard hit balls the Braves have had all day, it takes the slowest chopper of the day to get on first.
Well, that's the type of play and the type of ball that the Orleans Firebirds have posted hits with. So we'll take one ourselves.
Thanks for passing that along to us, Orleans. Well, they gave that hit to the Orleans Firebirds, it appears. They don't have 6, they have fun. So here's Josh Moylan with his teammate Agnos at ECU aboard. First pitch fastball, inner half called strike from Morris.
And as I was mentioning earlier, Josh Moylan with one of the best batting practices before this game that I have seen from him. And like you said, Reeves, it only took one that he needed to see for him to get into a rhythm. Hopefully we see that again. He lined out really hard over there to the short.
0-1 breaking ball misses. Up and in. Count goes even. 75-mile-an-hour breaker there from Morris. The Arkansas lefty, a 1.97 ERA, 15 strikeouts in 13 2/3 innings. He's given up 10 hits, now 11, and he's walked 7. Moylan, fastball, good pitch, outer half, strike 2. So the Braves have gotten on base 4 times. Obviously, Lampe has walked, Garcia has walked. Schobel was hit by a pitch, and now Agnos breaks through. But the Braves' first hit in the top of the 5th inning. No hit through 4. Lefty-lefty here, 1-2. We'll see what Morris comes with. It's a breaking ball, and Moylan spoils it. Good job to stay alive.
Yeah, great work to hold in that batter's box on a 76-mile-per-hour breaking ball. Chops it down the first base line. In our pregame Tomahawk Talk, we mentioned you have to expect the unexpected here at Eldridge Park. Last time we were here, there was a sprinkler delay. Last night, there was a goose delay.
Yeah,
we'll explain after this.
Crazy. 1-2, and Moylan goes down. Swinging fastball upstairs, he chases for the first out. But yeah, Daniel, obviously, we were here with the sprinkler delay. They had the interns and even a few of the players come out, sit on the sprinklers for the bottom of the 9th. Well, that was pretty quick because Eric Adler is fast as what he does and closed that game. Still flooded the field a bit in those particular areas. And then last night, late in the game, geese evaded the field. As that one in the dirt there to John Garcia. So a geese invasion last night. And then, Daniel, tell us what happened after that.
Well, I don't see him tonight, but there's often the mascot for the Firebirds. I think they call him Birdman.
Birdman.
In a red full bodysuit of a bird, and he took matters into his own hands, came into the outfield, scooped up the goose that was delaying play, and walked out into the bullpen and said, "Play on." He's not here tonight. The last time we were here, he was here.
Yes.
But, again, only things that are happening on the Cape. You don't see that anywhere else.
No, not at all. 1-1 the count. Garcia swings through a fastball. Braves trying to get some offense going. Nothing seeming to click. As Garcia, as soon as I say it, into right field, a base hit. He splits the hole, and the Braves have 2 on and 1 out for the top of the order.
There you go, John Garcia, as good as he is defensively, now getting on track offensively, spraying one just in between the first baseman and the second baseman, dribbling out to Keishel in right, and a first and second. Situation on our hands. Joe Lampe with 1 out. And again, we're still looking for that first home run here at Eldridge Park. The last time, I believe 3 weeks ago, we had Kyler Fedko and the man on deck, Max Anderson, come so close to a home run down the left field line that's playing shallow at 300.
Lefty here, and that ball is off the glove on a fastball of Guillemette. Advancing to third is Agnos, and advancing to second is Garcia. And we'll see if the Orleans infield opts to draw in. I assume they would, unless they want to trade a run for now, maybe just the corners. Regardless, 1-0. It was an inside fastball that Guillemette couldn't corral. And Lampe will bat with second and third, 1 down. Braves have to score here, obviously. You'd love more than 1.
Well, Lampe got on base the last time, and he faces a 1-0 count. And again, this is something that has been quite common for the Braves, is a new pitcher coming in and jumping all over him, especially after a starting pitcher is so effective.
Lampe with a soft liner to second. That's going to hurt. That won't do the job. That's going to be caught over there by Chatinier. And that'll be the second out of the inning. So Lampe got it in the air but couldn't get the job done. Soft liner in the infield brings up Anderson with 2 down.
If he caught the barrel of the bat there, it would have been a base hit, no doubt. But he caught the shallow part on the inside and sprayed it towards the second baseman, Chatinier. Max Anderson needs to produce here in order to respond. The Braves down 3-0. He takes one low in the dirt, but Max Anderson, he was close in his last appearance here at Eldridge Park to a home run.
Yeah, Anderson, who takes a changeup in the dirt, had first and third his last time up, sent a liner to left, and a beautiful catch by Bolger out there to end the inning. As Anderson watches a breaking ball miss downstairs. Yeah, he mentioned that last game, obviously. Anderson was so close to giving the Braves the lead in the top of the ninth. As soon as Fedko almost hit one, Anderson next pitch after Fedko got out, deep into left center. Ball was caught literally with the glove over the wall. Didn't have to scale the wall, did McKenzie. No McKenzie today in left, and we're happy about that.
Thank goodness.
2-0, Anderson chopper. Over to third, Locklear diving stop. He's going to have to make a strong throw to get Anderson, and he does. What a play from Tyler Locklear, doing it all for Orleans tonight. A 3-run homer and a diving stop that saves a few runs for Orleans. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, it's 3-0. Bottom of the 5th inning, Reeves-Jackson joined by Nick Galley. As it'll be the 9 1-2 hitters for Orleans. Nick, how you doing?
You know, some runs would be nice.
Some runs would be nice. Braves
for
have
right
had
now,
a few
doing all right.
opportunities. Anderson robbed by the stellar play of Locklear. First pitch here to the 9-hole hitter David Marcano. And that's outside. A changeup 1-0. What have you seen so far from Jake Bennett tonight?
I mean, he's looked good. One mistake pitch, the 3-run home run, but other than that, and as you guys were talking about earlier, a couple of cheap hits, got the guys on base. One was a legitimate hit. The other one, kind of just some miscommunication there. Play, I forgot about that.
Well, they had an infield single, but Schob obviously had no chance. It was the speed of Keishel.
It's baseball for you.
It is baseball.
It is. So, other than that, he's looked really good though.
Swing and a miss. Good changeup from Bennett. It was 2-0. Now it's 2-1.
The offense scares me though.
Yeah,
I'll say. I mean, there's a lot of changing pieces in that lineup.
And that's the thing. You lose guys like Caden Wallace and Braylon Wimmer. This one spoiled away into the host of fans. How about the crowd tonight in Orleans for a Monday night? But you talk about the losses of Caden Wallace and Braylon Wimmer. Two of your premier bats offensively.
And you have no Knapczyk tonight either.
No Knapczyk tonight either. That is a great point. As 2-2 from Jake Bennett. Breaking ball rings him up. For strike number 3 outside corner. Good pitch, 1 away as Marcano is retired. Now 1 for 2. And then obviously guys like Dalton Rushing. Rushing is 0 for his last 0 for his last 13 at the plate. He'll lead off obviously in the top of the 6th, but Dalton Rushing has been on a bit of a schneid lately. We'll look to break that.
I mean, you look at this lineup now and you think about what it could have been if you had like Knapczyk, Anderson, Rushing, Reggie Crawford, Wimmer, Caden Wallace, Colby Thomas, Lampy. If you could have that, I mean, it'd be putting up 7-8 runs every night. And you see what it is now. Still talented players, guys that have had chemistry, been here for a while. But the guys that were putting up the biggest numbers, driving in the most runs, Caden Wallace and Braylon Wimmer, you lose a lot of RBIs right there. A lot of runs batted in. So it's going to be tough to rebound from. The new guys coming in got to build chemistry coming in.
This one ripped into left here from Chatagnier. Over there is Lucas Costello, and he makes a nice catch on the run for out number 2.
Welcome to the team. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Nice play there by Costello. He came in defensively for Nick Goodwin, who fouled the ball off of his foot, was in some pain. Goodwin, who was removed from the game. Costello got his first at-bat. He struck out swinging. Makes a nice running catch on Chatagnier and left. 2 down here for Justin Mignis. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 groundouts.
But, yeah, just such a different lineup now. And it's going to get even more different as the year goes on, we're assuming.
Obviously that's the nature of this league. But the thing is, you got to have guys come in that step up.
Exactly.
And the Braves obviously hoping for Costello to step up, and I assume they'll add a few more offensive pieces. Just today, Nick, I think it was you. It was Calvin that actually told us this. First, the 1-0 to Mignis, called strike. The Braves today, I guess we can adjust this now that Goodwin is out, Costello's in. The only bench bat they have is Peter Burns. That is active. Costello was active. Obviously, it was nice to have him as a security blanket, and we hope that Goodwin is fine. But we would have loved to have 2 bench bats in Costello and Burns in case something happened. 1-1, that's a fastball that misses high, 2-1. Obviously, it's nice that it's a catcher. Braves do have also the luxury of rushing if they ever needed a catcher.
But, yeah, they're in a scary spot, and we haven't even talked about the pitching staff.
Yeah, pitching staff.
Is also likely going to get further depleted.
Yeah.
Within the next week or so here from what we're hearing.
2-1, bounced over to first. Rushing under his glove, an E3, very uncharacteristic of Dalton Rushing. And aboard is Justin Mignis on an air.
So, they're in a tough spot right now. I know every team goes through this, but when you're 21-4.
The thing is for the Braves, and what it feels like for other teams, it's happening over a span of time.
Yeah,
for
now
Bourne, it feels like it is.
It's like today. I feel like today is like the day where all this news is kind of coming out where this guy's leaving, this guy's scheduled to leave, this guy's going to go.
And first pitch strike there to Luke Keeschel, excuse me. Get this here on Luke Keeschel, University of San Francisco. Over the course of his 10-game hitting streak, okay? 20 for 43. It's a 465 average.
I was just going to say it's around 500, a little less.
Unbelievable.
The quick maths there.
Bennett first checks over there on Justin Mickness. Nothing in one the count to Keeschel. But yeah, it just feels like all this news coming at a very inopportune time for the Braves. Not because they're, struggling to make a playoff spot. They've already clinched a playoff spot, and they very soon, if not tonight, here in the next day or two, should clinch the Western Division, their first Western Division title since 2014. In 6 years, this one is fouled off well down the right field line and out of play.
And yeah,
but an inopportune time as far as postseason's right around the corner. You got to get these guys acclimated. These guys got to be playing well come playoff time if you want to advance to the championship and then win the championship.
Yeah, I mean, still a lot of talent on this team too. It's just
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
It's just a matter of who you're going to find to replace these, A-list players. I mean,
nothing in two. Keeschel swings and misses. Finish your thought here, Nick.
Yeah, you're not going to find another Caden Wallace. You're probably not going to find another Braylon Wimmer. You're not going to find these guys just sitting out there doing nothing during the summer. Every guy that's extremely talented in college ball is in a summer league right now or on the Cape on a different team. So it's going to be really tough to find replacements for these guys, and we'll see what happens.
Well, obviously, you still look up and down. We'll finish this last thought. You look up and down the Braves order. Joe Lampy, Max Anderson, Dalton Rushing, Colby Thomas, Tanner Schobel, Nick Goodwin, Zach Agnos, Josh Moylan, Prater Burns, John Garcia. Still a team that is offensively constructed.
A lot of talent, yeah.
So much talent. A lot of the key cogs that have been there for much of the success. Obviously, it hurts losing middle-of-the-order bats like Caden Wallace and Braylon Wimmer, but this is an offense that is very, very well going. Like, they're going to be fine, I believe.
Yeah, someone's got to step up.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. I mean, it really is, because someone needs to be a key run producer.
It just seems like at this time there's a lot of these important bats in the lineup that aren't playing
just
as
a lot
well
of,
as they have over the course of the season.
As of right now, just a lot of unanswered questions as to what the next move is going to be.
Yes.
And once we find that out and once we kind of have this team structured for a playoff run, I think we'll have a better idea. But right now, things kind of up in the air, and we're seeing it tonight. I mean, this is a very small-scale example, but
yeah, we'll get clarity soon. Obviously, this is a Braves team. A lot of question marks as far as roster decisions, but a team that is 21-4-3.
Can't complain too
and
much.
Very soon on their way to a Western Division title. Mick Galley, appreciate it very much. Thank you for joining me, my friend.
Shake my hand. No, we'll
shake
shake hands.
your
Yeah,
hand.
of course.
Thank you, sir. We'll trade off here with Nick Galley and Daniel Coates, and we'll send things here to Dalton Rushing. Stay on in here, no break. Daniel, let's do the pass. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Bathroom break served me well.
There you go. It'd be nice to get some runs now.
I'll tell you what, it's hard to cut across this field at Eldridge Park. As Dalton Rushing looks like that might have hit him.
Yeah, hit by a pitch. Rushing aboard to first. Good start for the Braves. It was a breaking ball. Dalton's good.
I'll tell you what, cutting across the hill here at Eldridge Park, I mean, it is not a shallow hill. It is fairly steep.
It's steep, and you got to dodge fans, too, that are on the berm. And not only that, you have to walk a mile to the bathroom.
Yeah, jeez. I mean, tough go for the broadcaster. Okay, this place is awesome.
This place is great.
Talk about a funky field. 434 to center, 300 down the left field line. It's just, I mean, and as I mentioned, I talked to you and I said, this field is so funky. It has to have been something else. And you go, yeah, it was a soccer field.
Yeah,
obviously it was. It's so clear.
Yeah.
The dimensions. It's pretty much a right angle with the fence in the outfield.
1-0. Swing and a miss by Colby. 1-1 the count. 434, as you mentioned, the dead center. Left field, you said 300. Right, it's 314. That is the depth of the short porch at Yankee Stadium. And left center, 350. And then right center, 359. But it keeps on going further out until you get to that corner in center field. As Colby Thomas pops this one up. Right field, long run for Keeschel. In foul territory, he slides and can't corral it. Ball bounces into the whole host of fans. Braves catch a break.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Keeschel was on a hot pursuit for that ball. He was there, but I think the fans might have gotten in a little bit of the way or maybe even distracted him a bit. That's a ball that is usually caught if he has more space.
Absolutely. Well, the only positive that could have served the Braves is Dalton Rushing likely would have been able to tag up from first to second base. So Colby Thomas here with the ball and 2 strikes. The lefty Morris on the mound. See what he comes with here. Rushing takes his lead. Here's the delivery. Breaking ball. The Thomas skies to right. Keishel doesn't have to go back too far. Now drifts over and makes the catch for out number 1.
Keishel gets redemption, and Colby Thomas, another good piece of hitting from these Braves. They make good contact, but there is the Firebirds defense. Tanner Schobel, the 5-spot hitter. He's being moved up in this lineup quite significantly for the Virginia Tech kid. He's .350 over the last 20 games. I mean, how about that? He's hit safely in the 5 of the last 6.
Yeah, the 5 spot served him well a night ago. A home run, 2-run shot, bottom of the 8th inning. Schobel watches a fastball high and away.
And I'll ask your opinion. You know, we've seen Tanner Schobel at the 9 spot most often through our streak early on. Just recently, he's been implemented more in the middle. What are your thoughts on that?
I kind of like Tanner in the 6 spot. I wouldn't mind seeing Zach Agnos move up into the 5 spot. I know Zach's been a little inconsistent this year, but I would love to see Zach in the 5 spot in this order, because if Zach gets going, he's a bat that you need to get going. So maybe putting Zach higher up in the 5 spot in the order could get his bat going. I like Tanner best at 6, but right now with, some of these losses in the Braves order, Tanner at 5 makes sense. Maybe until you get Knapcheck back. Here's the pitch to Schobel. Generous called strikeout or half, 2-1.
Well, Lucas
What do
Costello.
you think? What do you think, Daniel? Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Lucas Costello is on deck. I like it. I love Tanner Schobel at the 9 spot, but that was when we had more artillery.
Yes.
That's when we had more weapons to use.
Caden and Braylon.
And we had Caden, we had Braylon. We had a lot of. We even had Kyler Fedko
you're
back
right.
then.
You're right.
Maybe
Good
even
point.
a little bit of Reggie Crawford. So he was comfortable in the 9 spot, but he's been one of the best batters for this team. And I think if that's the case, Harvey Shapiro is going to have to work his magic again, and hopefully that 6 spot or the 5 spot, I should say, suits Schobel well.
2-1. A Wayward's fastball, and out pulling the mask off is Guillemette, trying to calm down Morris, who has missed quite wild with a few fastballs this inning. 3-1 the count. Obviously, Daniel, boy, would it be nice to get Reggie Crawford back from Team USA. Obviously, the likelihood of that not known, and more unlikely than it does happen, as this one is bounced hard to short. In the hole, nice play there by Marcano, now bobbles it. And the ball comes out of his glove, and should be a base hit for Tanner Schobel. I expect it scored as 1. And over to second goes Dalton Rushing.
Well, how about a welcome for Costello? He has men on first and second now. We're down by 3, and a big shot here from the newcomer could prove to be a potential tie, or even just cutting into the lead that the Orleans Firebirds have. It really has been one hit off of Jake Bennett tonight.
First pitch to Costello, and he pops it up. Shallow right in foul territory. Out goes Harmon. He's not going to be able to get it. And luckily for Costello and the Braves, we'll have another chance.
Well, the wind blowing from left to right here has really helped Costello stay alive. When it came off the bat, it looked like a routine pop fly, maybe just in foul territory for Harmon, but it drifted all the way towards the net. Agnos on deck, only 1 out.
How great would it be here for Costello to introduce himself to the team with a 3-run shot? Wouldn't that be cool? That would be something. Short porch, got a chance to do it. If he pieces up a good pitch, 0-1, breaking ball called strike. So Costello down on the count, 0-2. Obviously, if Costello is able to stay out of the double play ball, we want to get Zach Agnos up with runners on base. The Braves trying to break through on the scoreboard for the first time here tonight. Zach, who enjoyed a nice 2-hit day the last time we were here, a double and a triple. Costello, 0-2 from Morris. Change up, and he watches it low.
Well, Costello struck out his last appearance, taking over for Nick Goodwin, who I believe is having some cramps.
Yeah, that foot.
In that foot,
lower ankle,
yeah. But Costello was just activated today, not necessarily really expected to
Costello swings and misses. Breaking ball. Good pitch there from Morris. So 2 strikeouts through the first 2 at-bats thus far for Costello, as Agnos will come to the plate. Zach is 1 for 2. He flew out to center, reached on an infield single. The Braves have been able to manufacture runners on base, just have not been able to come through and score any of those runners. Had some struggles during the middle of the season with that same facet of the game. And then exploded offensively after that, and since then have kind of gone back into a little bit of a slump. First and second, first pitch to Agnos, fastball away.
As I mentioned, Agnos was 2 for 4 a few weeks ago here at Eldridge. He has recent success, but tonight, not necessarily. He had a single and flew out to center, looking to do it here. With men on first and second would be huge.
1-0, chopper foul past the third base bag. Obviously the Braves robbed of a potential scoring opportunity when Max Anderson was robbed by Tyler Locklear with an impressive diving stop. 1-1 the count here to Agnos.
Again, we're getting to this part of the game where now you're going to start counting outs, and it's time for the Braves to get that man across. I think once they break the ice, we could be seeing a whole new ball game, an opportunity to do so here for Agnos.
A game that is moving very quickly along. 1-1 from Morris. Agnos spoils it foul over the Orleans dugout and well out of play. Up into the last row of fans on the berm that is filled tonight. I'll tell you what, huge crowd on hand at Orleans. One of my favorite spots, Daniel, I will say, one of my favorite spots. It's got to be top 2 or top 3.
Oh, yeah. I still have a soft spot in my heart for the Shark Cage at Wareham.
I love it. Okay.
Even though it's a funky setup.
1-2, fastball outside corner. Agnos thought it was a little more outside than the home plate umpire thought. He's rung up on strikes, and the Braves leave 2 more on here in the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom half with the Braves trailing by 3. Well, it's another new face here for the Braves in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is the left-hander from Embry-Riddle down in Daytona Beach, Florida. It is Kelsey Ward as we welcome Kelsey to the mound here for the Braves.
Yeah, don't have his 2021 stats here, but we do have his 2020 stats posted by Embry-Riddle. He had a 3.86 ERA, 4.2 record, and with 8 appearances, 6-game start. So an interesting look here for Embry-Riddle Eagles pitcher, and he's making his first start here. He had 32 strikeouts on 14 batters walked.
1-1 from Ward after his first pitch missed. Second pitch was a fastball. And the third pitch, a breaking ball at 78, bounces 2-1. He's got Chase DeLauder, Tyler Locklear, and Jake Bolger. Not a fun part of the lineup to go up against in your first appearance. Obviously, Daytona Beach, Florida, so famously known for the Blue Angels that fly down there. And Kelsey Ward, an aviation business administration major. 6'2", 290 pounds. That one through the wickets of Garcia, but no matter, 3-1. He is from Vero Beach, Florida, down on the eastern coast. Not too far from Daytona Beach.
Well, arriving just this week.
As the 3-1 fastball spoiled away. Daniel, this is interesting. Last game I felt like we were calling over 1,000 fly balls that were going over the road and onto the street. Tonight,
none.
Might have been the first one.
I think that was the first one. I was driving down that road today, and that's the only thing that I could think of. And thank God they weren't playing. And that's another one. Look at that.
As DeLauder spoils that one into the trees. So they've been able to keep a lot more baseballs, because I remember the last time we were here, it sparked the conversation that Nick Galley looked up about how many baseballs on average do you think we would lose here among all teams, among all games in the Cape League season. And he looked up the Major League Baseball average. 3-2, spoiled into the trees. So we get 0 all game, and now we have 3 in a row.
I don't know if we got an exact number, an exact prediction from everyone. I think it was around the 10K mark.
Yeah. I remember. I think I said 6,000 to 8,000. I think Nick was a little higher. I think maybe you were too, Daniel. So spoiled into the padded backstop. 90 miles an hour from Kelsey Ward. So 88 to 91 on the fastball.
I think I was around 6K, 5K maybe.
Okay. So you were a little lower. Nick was on the 10K end. I was around the 7K. It'd be interesting to find that out if we ever could. 3-2. That's in the dirt. Breaking ball, ball 4. So first batter walk for excuse me, I was going to call him Embry-Riddle. 4 for Kelsey Ward from Embry-Riddle.
Well, Ward had a really good showing just there, and a couple of foul tips that kept DeLauder alive, and he'll face Locklear, who I'm not sure if any pitcher wants to face him on the Cape League. 9th home run tonight.
Yeah, he's tearing up this Cape League this summer, at least with the power numbers. Average is a little lower than he would like. But Locklear now with his 9th homer tonight. And broke the lead with his teammate Chase DeLauder, who has 8. 1-0 count. That pitch missed in the dirt there to Locklear. Kelsey Ward from John Carroll High School in Vero Beach. As that one misses high, a fastball 2-0. A 2019 graduate of John Carroll High School. He earned 5 varsity letters in baseball. Was named the John Carroll Breakout Player of the Year as a junior. 2018, a second-team All-American in the HSBN. An All-District and TC Palm area, all-area in 2018. So a lot of great numbers for Kelsey Ward in high school. And he helped lead his high school teams to 2 state semifinal appearances, went 6-4 as a pitcher in his final 2 prep seasons. He amassed 54 strikeouts in 41 2/3 innings and drove in 48 runs on 49 hits. As this one is lifted to center by Locklear. A mile high. Lampy battles the twilight sky and makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, look, this is a new Bourne Braves team that we have on our hands. A new pitcher, a new catcher. We saw Costello. He's now out in left. We're getting to the point in the season where our lineup is whittling down. We have our core guys like Dalton Rush and Christian Knapczyk, who will be back, who I'm sure would have helped with this game that we have here on our hands. But we're getting to the time where our final playoff run team is being constructed. I think Harvey Shapiro is taking this time where we most likely will secure the 1 spot, but he's taking this time to experiment, to see who works best in this spot, who works best in that spot. Maybe Garcia should be the starting catcher. Maybe it should be Peter Burns, but Garcia just got his first hit. So a lot of different storylines working that need to be assessed before we move into the playoffs here.
On the move here is DeLauder. Throw from Garcia. It is on the bag, but just a hair late. Fraction of a second before, as the slide in from DeLauder, and he picks up a stolen base. And look, as much as we want to keep winning all of these games towards the tail end of the season, just for the pure show of dominance of this Braves offense and this Braves team and the Braves pitching staff, all around this team has been so good. As the 1-0 is spoiled away, as much as we want to keep winning, just to shatter the all-time winning percentage of the Cape League, which we're still very well could do, there's no need. You don't need to win all these games. It's not pressing. They've already clinched a playoff spot. All they need to do to avoid getting the 1 seed and winning the division is lose the rest of the games and have Falmouth win the rest of them. We know that's not going to happen. The breaking ball off the glove of Garcia, and to third goes DeLauder, so that stolen base paying dividends for Orleans as the count goes to 2-1, runner on third. So obviously, it's a good time late in the year, as you mentioned. Harvey Shapiro is going to be constructing this roster. The final playoff roster, as Ed Marco will pay a visit. Give us a chance to talk about it a little more. Harvey will get to construct the roster now of what the Braves want to go into with the playoffs. And obviously, it's going to take some feeling out. It's going to have games like this where you're going to struggle and score no runs. And the Braves, quite honestly, could be 0-0 right now. You have better communication maybe between Rushing and Bennett in the first inning than the 3-run homer by Locklear is avoided. And you're still in a 0-0 game with the Braves bats looking to strike first. So you really think about it, just the Braves offense, with 3 hits tonight, they've had multiple opportunities where they've left multiple runners on base. But it's just a point where Knapcheck's out of the lineup. He's gone for a few days. You lost Wimmer. You lost Wallace a little over a week ago. I guess I should say less than a week ago. That was on Tuesday. So almost a week ago to this point. It was Braylon today. So some question marks, but I think you have plenty of time with 9 games left to answer those heading into postseason play. That's most important.
Most certainly. And, as that ball misses high and outside 3-1, we would love to continue this dominant winning performance that we have put on throughout the entire season. But when it comes down to it, if a couple of losses are what it takes for us to figure out our playoff roster, then so be it. Because if it all matters how we do in the playoffs, it doesn't matter how we do in the last 10 games, maybe 9 games. It just matters how we do in those 3-game stretches.
Exactly. Once you get to the postseason, it doesn't matter what your regular season record was. As great as this has been, and who knows where the Braves will finish as far as their final record, that all gets thrown out the window. That doesn't matter come August 6th. All that matters on that Friday night when the Bourne Braves are playing at Doran Park against either Falmouth, Cotuit, or Wareham is what your team is on that given night and how you perform on that night. A walk there and a rip down the third baseline foul from Trey Harmon. So it's a walk to Jake Bolger, as we'll try to get back a little more focused on the play-by-play. Obviously, wanted to talk about that as Harmon.
Trey Harmon just broke the bat from the handle.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see that, Daniel. Good catch. Was looking down at the scorebook and was looking at my laptop to tell these fans some scores and update them. But how about that? He shattered it.
Well, Trey Harmon is known to hit the ball hard, and that just shows you. I mean, the barrel of the bat completely snapped off after he fouled one.
Well, some scores from around the league. Wareham defeated YD, final score of 12-2. Hyannis taking it to Cotuit. How about that? 15-5. Yes, that score is right. Yes, Hyannis' offense has been that impressive. They scored 12 last night. How about the double-digit run streak and the offensive performance of Hyannis lately? A breaking ball misses inside to Harmon, 1-1.
Hyannis has been playing loose. Oftentimes it happens when you put up a handful of losses early on and you know that your playoff hopes are pretty much dashed. But
imagine if they had been playing this well.
I mean,
Nick, if you have a free moment, I guess in the next few innings, if you have the time, maybe I can look it up between innings too. But I wonder how many runs Hyannis has scored in the last week as Harmon launches high and deep to left. That ball is long gone. The second set of 3-run homers for the Orleans Firebirds today. They have doubled their lead. It's 6-0.
Almost an exact replica of Tyler Locklear's home run. Trey Harmon, it's shocking really that he hasn't gotten a home run this season. That is his first. We mentioned that he had a handful of line drives that had the distance but didn't have the accuracy at Doran Park. That one he straightened out and shot over the left field wall. The Braves down 6-0 now. We were talking yesterday about a 5-run deficit being the most that the Braves have faced this season. 6 might take the cake.
Yeah, 6 runs, now the largest deficit the Braves have faced all year. 6-0. As here comes Garrett Guillemette with the bases clear and 1 down. So rude introduction to Kelsey Ward's first appearance here in the CCBL. 1-0. And swing and a miss by Guillemette. 1-1 the count. Well, here's a bright spot. You want to look at the glass half full right now. You can look at, honestly, the glass all the way full. Chatham defeating Falmouth 3-0 top of the 7th. Braves could lock up the Western Division with a Falmouth loss tonight. As a breaking ball misses, 2-1. Inside to Guillemette, 0 for 2 today.
Well, finally, Chatham can do something that helps us, right?
Right.
1-1-1 against that team, and we got our first win at Veterans on Saturday, and that impressive.
Ripped up the middle off of the glove of the diving Tanner Schobel. He had no shot to get that, though. Oh, man, an incredible effort. It's a single for Guillemette. And they are hitting Kelsey Ward quite hard.
Yeah, the Firebirds are feeling it, and Kelsey Ward, he's throwing well, it seems, but a lot of times it takes a couple more appearances to get used to play down here on the Cape. You're not necessarily throwing for Embry-Riddle anymore. You're facing guys who have come from Omaha, come from the College World Series, guys from Arkansas and Wake Forest.
Yeah, obviously, Kelsey Ward, you got to be good to pitch in this league, and Kelsey Ward is and deserves that. But at the same time, this isn't Division II level baseball. This is, as you mentioned, the SECs, the ACCs, the Pac-12s of the world. And I know Kelsey Ward's ready for that. I'm not saying he's not.
And not saying that he's not ready, but it's an adjustment period. It's time to every batter in this lineup. You know, the 8-spot batter, the 9-spot batter is as good coming in as the 1 spot. They are all star players at their respective programs. And Eddie Marco coming to have a word, and that's going to do it for Kelsey Ward's first appearance.
We'll tell you about the new Braves pitcher when we come back here. Bottom of the 6th, with Orleans leading by that number at 6-0. Pitching change for the Braves. It'll be the Texas A&M Aggie right-hander Xavier Lovett on the mound. He'll face David Marcano with a fresh count.
Well, this is the earliest that we've seen Xavier Lovett come in this season. Not the outing that Ward needed in a breaking ball there from Xavier Lovett, but we often see Xavier Lovett in the 8th inning coming in to set up a closer like Eric Adler or maybe even Tristan Vreeling, but some desperate help needed, I should say, and Xavier Lovett looking to supply that.
Xavier, obviously the high-velocity fastball. That pitch misses inside, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1 the count. One and one the count. Marcano swings and misses. One and two. Daniel Coates battling the bugs here.
Oh God, one just attacked me.
One.
I don't know where it is. It might be coming back.
1-2, bouncer over to first. Rushing, spins, throws to second for one. And they'll get the force over at second for the second out. Nice play there by Dalton. Guillemette is forced, and on aboard is Marcano with the fielder's choice.
I have to imagine Harvey Shapiro and Eddie Marco's thought process is that Xavier Lovett will get them out of this inning. I think we're going to see a new pitcher after this, just because Xavier Lovett hasn't been known to go really the distance as far as over one inning or maybe a half an inning. He's the guy to get you out of a jam, and I think that's going to be what he serves as tonight.
Bottom of the sixth, 2 down. Top of the order here is Peyton Chatinier, runner on the move. There is Marcano, and the throw is going to skip up and bounce off the glove of Agnos there. That's a stolen base for Marcano, so they have been successful stealing on John Garcia today. It was called strike at the plate, 0-1, runner at second.
I'm not going to blame John Garcia. I mean, these guys are getting incredible bounces and first jumps off the pitchers tonight, and the pitchers really haven't checked these base runners at all.
That is fair to say. 0-1. Xavier pauses, delivers, breaking ball that misses high. 1-1 the count. Well, if the Braves want to have any hopes of winning this game, they need an offensive explosion over the course of their final 3 chances at the plate. Brewster defeating Harwich right now. 4-0. Over in the battle between the top 2 teams in the East. 1-1 from Lovett. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball right there, as Garcia proves with the point out to the mound. 1-2. Bottom of the 7th, Brewster with a handful of shutouts to their record this year. Looking to grab another one, which I believe would be their 6th of the season. That is impressive from that pitching staff. Just second to Bourne's in the league. Swing and a miss. A fastball lights up Chatinier, 94 from Lovett. And the Braves get out of the bottom of the 6th inning. They surrender 3 runs. The home run from Trey Harmon, the big blow off of Kelsey Ward. We head to the 7th inning with the Braves down 6-0. Back here in the top of the 7th inning. New righty on for Orleans, a man we saw at Bourne a few nights ago. 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Jack Philby, a 6'1", 200-pounder from UCLA. On the mound here to face the bottom half of the Braves order, Moylan, Garcia, and Lampe down 6-0. And to take you through the 7th and the 8th, I turn things over to my partner here, Daniel Coates.
Thank you, Reeves. A brilliant job as always. Joshua Moylan to start things off. And on deck is John Garcia. But Philby, we've seen him once. We will see him again. 6-0. The Orleans Firebirds have sprinted ahead with 2 3-run shots. One of them from Locklear. First pitch high to Joshua Moylan, and just recently a home run shot from Trey Harmon, his first of the year. 1-0 to Joshua Moylan. He lined out in his first appearance and struck out back in the 5th. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Philby, the UCLA Bruin, looking to provide more outs. 9 outs and 9 more opportunities for the Braves here tonight. Top 7. Breaking ball looking in the middle of the zone. 1-2.
Yeah, Moylan, who lined out hard to short his first trip up. He struck out swinging his last time, looking to avoid the same fate here against the new righty Philby.
That one's in the dirt. 2-2. Moylan with his first home run of the season last night. It was a solo shot over Froggy's pole in right field, as our scorer Bob reminded us. This one's a hard hit ball. That's going to get past the glove of the third baseman. I'm not sure if it's going to be counted as a hit.
Yeah, that should be a base hit.
But Joshua Moylan continues on his upwards trend and allows the Braves to take over first base. John Garcia on an upward trend of his own. He had his first hit in his Braves season coming in from Grambling State. That was a hard hit ball in between the first and second baseman in Garcia's last appearance. First pitch on the inner half for strike 1. And how about Joshua Moylan? We mentioned that he is one of the most easy to root for guys on this team, and he hit a bomb to right field last night.
Yeah, no doubter last night.
Now 0-2, a breaking ball swung on and missed. 75 miles per hour. It's tough when you're dealing a fastball at 92 and also delivering a breaking ball at 75.
Yeah, 17-mile-an-hour drop-off is pretty effective, especially against another right-hander on the plate.
Garcia passes on the first ball on the inner half. 1-2. Moylan still at first. Joe Lampe in the top of the order on deck.
Yeah, obviously Moylan just sent that one to the left side. Hard hit. Kind of ate up Locklear, went past his glove into left field. So nice job by Josh. Continues to hit it hard and also to the opposite field.
Garcia passes on 1-2-2, and boy, that was close.
Yeah, I think Joe Lampe kind of started walking to home plate. He's laughing about it too.
Come on, Joe. But 2-2, Garcia stays alive. Philby from the stretch. Breaking ball chopped and spoiled. Foul down the third base line. It stays at 2-2.
Well, if there's going to be a guy the Braves can get to, it's going to be Philby. A 6.92 ERA on the year, 13 innings, 16 hits. He's walked 8. A lot of those runs came early in the season, 3 consecutive scoreless appearances for Philby. 2 of those less than an inning, so we'll see how long they rely on him today.
2-2 high fastball, cut and a miss. Joe Lampe now has his proper turn, and down goes John Garcia for his first strikeout of the night. Philby gets his first out, and Joe Lampe steps in. This is his 4th appearance. A soft liner to second is what ended his 3rd appearance. Fastball high, just by the eye line for ball 1.
Yeah, Braves need to just get something going here. Maybe get a 2-run inning or something if they're able to. String some hits together against Philby. Maybe try to chip away and just see what you can do. You never know.
Now 1-1, 89-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle. Joe Lampe decides to pass. Lampy grounded to second in the first. Walked in the third as he watches a breaking ball again hit the lower half of the zone, 75 miles per hour. That dropped completely off the table. And back in the fifth, as I mentioned, lined out to the second baseman. Philby on the inner half. Joshua Moylan has to scurry back. He is close, but it's safe. A good throw from Guillemette.
Yeah, Guillemette just went right on the other side, the right side of Lampy. Obviously swung and missed, and then fell forward, and Guillemette made a nice snap throw down to first base. Moylan was back in, barely standing up.
Breaking ball, check, swing. They're going to ring him up. Second strikeout for Philby. Joe Lampy goes down watching off a breaking ball.
Yeah, Lampy, who offered at the pitch initially, obviously maybe he was thinking too close to take, and, well, it indeed was. Rung him up on strikes.
Well, Max Anderson needs to make some noise if the Braves want a chance. That's not going to help. A breaking ball for strike one.
Well, there's a guy who's ripped the ball today and has also gotten robbed twice. Had that hard hit ball to left in which Bulger caught it out there, and a nice diving stop by Locklear, who beat Anderson at first.
0 for 3 today. That breaking ball drifts well high. Only 4 hits for the Braves, as opposed to 7. 2 of those for the Firebirds were 3-run shots. That has made all the difference here tonight. Count knotted up at 1-1. Moylan still on first. Hard hit line drive, and the diving third baseman who gets past him. There goes Joshua Moylan all the way to third. Locklear unable to handle a hard hit line drive from Max Anderson. And we have Braves standing atop of first and third.
Well, I was about to say, if Max Anderson was going to get robbed for a third time today, I guess you could say once before that, the hard hit ball to left was right at Bulger. Made a nice running catch. But Locklear, who robbed him the last time, almost did the same thing to him again. This time would have been a beautiful diving catch on a line drive. Just got off his glove, trickled into shallow left, and Braves have him at the corners for Dalton Rushing, trying to break that 0 for his last 13 at the plate.
In steps Dalton Rushing, the Louisville Cardinal. Joshua Moylan on third, breaking ball. Catches the outside corner, drifting a bit high. 0-1. And as you mentioned, Rushing on a bit of a cold streak at the moment. What a better time to respond to that than right now. 6-0, the Braves trail. Max Anderson at first. Now 1-1, a fastball on the outer half. And talk about a 92-74 difference between the heater and the breaking ball.
All I know is if I was at the plate, I wouldn't be able to hit it. So, no, as a pitcher, though, it's extremely effective when you can change speeds that well, too, and especially.
Good eye from Dalton Rushing, a fastball high and outside, missing.
A large part of it is pitch speed, but then really one of the most important factors, if not the most important factor, is how much spin you have on it and if you're able to locate it for strikes. Changing speeds is huge, but if you can't do it effectively, it doesn't mean much.
Well, the RBI leader, Rushing. That breaking ball is taken for a strike, 2-2.
Yeah, not Rushing's pitch. Pitcher's pitch outside half there for Philby. Rushing will try to get something in his wheelhouse here with 2 strikes. See if Philby goes back to that breaking ball or turns to the fastball here.
2 outs. Hard hit ground ball past the glove of the first baseman, and the Braves are going to get a run across for the first time tonight off an RBI from the RBI leader, Dalton Rushing, with his 18th of the year. Joshua Moylan scores from third.
Yeah, see what happens. Put it in play past the diving Harmon. Chatinier did a nice job to dive over there in the outfield grass out there past the second base side of the field, and Rushing comes through, gets the RBI single.
6-1. The Braves are chipping away. Still 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Swing and a miss from Colby Thomas. In Thomas's 4th appearance, he grounded to first, responded to that with a ground to third base and a fly out to right. 0 for 3 on the night. This pitch sprayed foul over the backstop. 89-mile-per-hour fastball spoiled over the press box. 0-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. The Orleans Firebirds trying to get the best of the Braves and escape this matchup with a win for the first time this season in what has been a long stretch of East Division teams that we have faced. An opportunity to clinch the West Division. That one's fouled by Colby Thomas. An opportunity for the Braves to clinch the top spot in the West Division for the first time since 2014. And we are now all, of course, Braves fans, but we are also Chatham Anglers fans tonight, as if they get the win, we are West Division champs.
Yes, indeed. Would be bittersweet not to do it with a win, but just to have it locked up would be nice to know.
Thomas taking 1-2 left field. Will that stay in play? It will! Colby Thomas cutting into the lead of the Orleans Firebirds. That is his 4th home run of the season, and exactly what the Braves needed late here at Eldridge Park.
Wow. Colby Thomas got a hanging breaking ball. That ball's in Trey Harmon and Tyler Locklear territory. Oh, my goodness. All of a sudden, Daniel, it's a 2-run game.
A 2-run game just like that, and the Braves again producing with 2 outs. Top of the 7th now. Colby Thomas tacks on the 4th run for the Bourne Braves tonight. And just like that, the boys from Bourne are right back in it. Time called, and Guillemette going to have a word with Philby.
As I mentioned, if there's a guy that the Braves could score runs off of, it's Philby. An ERA of just shy of 7 this year, and multiple outings where he's given up 2 or more runs on the season. So if there was a guy they could get to, Philby gave up 2 against Wareham, 3 against Brewster, 2 against Hyannis, 2 against Falmouth. And now 4 tonight against Bourne. And just hit Tanner Schobel.
Again, Tanner Schobel was hit by a pitch, and we'll get on to first. Costello now up.
One swing of the bat could tie this game.
For Lucas Costello. This is his 3rd at-bat, taking over for Nick Goodwin. You beat me to it, Reeves, but I was going to say I can't help myself but say one swing of the bat, and we have a tie game on the road, as there might be a pitching change coming for the Orleans Firebirds. A mound visit. And again, Colby Thomas continues to stay hot for the Braves. I mean,
wow.
How much more can you say about this kid and what he has produced in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, he needed that too. Coming into that, Daniel was 2 for his last 18 of the plate. Obviously, he had that hot stretch, but I've been really struggling as of late, and then breaks out of it in a huge way with a 3-run homer. Colby with timely hitting this season, and he does it in big ways too, with a 3-run shot. Did it against YD in the first inning and does it here at Orleans, arguably the 2nd biggest launching pad in the Cape, 6-4.
Philby remains on the mound against Costello. His breaking ball drops well short of the plate, and a 1-0 count to Lucas Costello from Wake Forest. 2 strikeouts on the night. Looking to turn a lackluster first 2 appearances into a memorable one, as he takes a fastball on the inner half of the zone, 1-1. Costello obviously had many reps for Wake Forest this season. That one's fouled back into the net. 50 hits.
Yeah, 50 hits, 5 homers. Had a handful of stolen bags as well.
Maybe not anticipating an entrance into this game.
Yeah,
Nick
that's
Goodwin
true.
cramping on the day, but Lucas Costello making his debut for the Braves. 1-2. Breaking ball for a 2-2 count. Tanner Schobel hit by a pitch for the 2nd time tonight, and he's at first. Costello represents the tying run. A moonshot from Colby Thomas is what has chipped away at the Orleans Firebirds' lead. A high fastball on the outer half, 3-2, full count.
Now we'll get Tanner running from first. If Costello puts one in the gap, Braves could get a 5th run here. Let's go, Lucas. Come on.
Full count, payoff pitch for Philby. He sets up in the stretch. And a breaking ball, swing and a miss. A very late swing off a 73-mile-per-hour breaking ball from Philby is going to do it and end this inning, but the Braves have tacked on 4 runs. It's a 2-run game. The boys from Bourne still trail, but if we know anything about them, late in the game is when they heat up. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th just after this break. We are back, and so too is Xavier Lovett. And I have Calvin Cristoforo on as Xavier Lovett misses the first pitch low to Justin Mickness. Calvin, we have a game all of a sudden on our hands.
Yeah, we do, Daniel. How about that? A 4-run 7th inning for the Braves. And most of that damage coming with 2 outs. A couple of balls that were infield singles the Braves got the benefit of, and then one big swing. You know, the Firebirds have 2 3-run home runs tonight, so Colby Thomas wanted to join the party with his 3-run home run. That was probably, I don't know if it was the furthest home run all year, but I'll say this, it was the furthest over the fence all year, because the fence is only 300, and that was way, way gone.
1-1 responded with a fastball low and inside for ball 2, and 2-1 to Mickness, who is 0 for 3 on the day. From the stretch, Xavier Lovett, who we're now seeing for the 2nd inning. We're not used to seeing Xavier Lovett this early.
Yeah, Xavier Lovett coming in a situation where he needed to get Kelsey Ward out of some danger. You know, he's thrown the ball 92-93, which is a range you want to see Xavier Lovett in. And then, you know, coming back in the dugout, he turns to me and he goes, I imagine that all the hitters that are facing me like Fritos. Because, you know, the other night when we had a debate, Xavier and I got in a big debate on Fritos. And I said I like Fritos. Xavier said he was, you know, not the biggest fan of Fritos. So he tells me he's picturing these hitters enjoy Fritos. And that's why I give him all the motivation to get these guys out.
A full count after a fastball catches the outside corner to Mickness. A 6-4 game. Kelsey Ward being relieved by Xavier Lovett. The 3-2. And a breaking ball just misses high and outside. I should say a fastball actually at 93. And a tough call there for Xavier Lovett. And something that Reeves and I were talking about is the stats that were put up off of Jake Bennett. He had that 3-run shot early on off of Locklear. And a couple of infield singles. Other than that,
he pitched great.
He pitched really well.
Absolutely. And Jake Bennett, giving up 3 runs in the first inning is never easy, and that is a big feather in his cap, how he responded tonight. Because after he gave up that 3-run home run in the first inning, he was locked down for 4 innings, and that has to make you feel good as a coach, as a manager, that Jake Bennett can give you solid outings. Obviously, we know that. He's been great all season long. But 3 runs and then coming back from that is not easy. It is not easy to do.
Luke Keeschel now at the plate. Mickness at first after being walked. Xavier Lovett is the third pitcher for this team tonight. Checks on Mickness. He's safe, though, and a tough outing for Kelsey Ward to start his Cape League career off.
Yeah, he got roughed up a bit. He was struggling to find the strike zone, put a couple of guys on, and when you're struggling to find the strike zone like that, the hitters anticipate fastball because, you're behind in the count, and he's going to have to try to come into the zone eventually, and when he does, it's going to be with the heater, and that is exactly what Harmon sat on, and he didn't miss it. This is a guy, the first baseman from Stenson, who we saw at Doran Park when they came last weekend. He wants to yank the ball down the left field line, hit a couple of foul home runs. Well, this one wasn't foul. It was way over the fence.
Chopped by Keeschel, 1-2 now for a guy who's batting .408 and leading the team in average. He's 1 for 3 on the day. His only hit coming back in the first, and he scored off a Locklear bomb. But with a man on first and Mickness, Orleans is threatening early against Xavier Lovett. A 1-2. Garcia up to throw, and stealing is Mickness. Up safely at second. No contest from John Garcia. He held on to it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate by Garcia. Just couldn't fish it out of his mitt. And this is a guy, he's known for his defense. One of the best arms in the league, I believe. And that's the third Orleans stolen base this game. But Garcia's first 2, they've been right on the bag. They've been bang-bang plays. One time, the ball beat the runner, but the tag wasn't applied in time. That time, Garcia had another good opportunity to throw at a would-be base stealer, but just couldn't fish it out of his glove.
Luke Keeschel, 2-2. Mickness at second. Hard hit line drive past Dalton Rushing. Will Mickness score? He rounds third. He's being sent home. The throw to second. He's called safe at second in a close play, but an Orleans Firebird will score. Wow. Justin Mickness running all the way from second to home off Luke Keeschel RBI double, and that was as close a call as you're going to get at second from the throw by Colby Thomas over to Tanner Schobel. But safe is Luke Keeschel with his second hit of the night.
Yeah, Daniel, I don't know about that call at second base. I thought he was out at second base. The call was safe, but I thought the Schobel tag beat him. And the reason he scored on that play, the third base coach had the stop sign up. He wasn't going to score. Mickness was not going to score on that play, but Colby Thomas booted the ball a little bit in the outfield, couldn't scoop it up with the glove cleanly, hit off his toes, and the third base coach changed his mind, sent the runner home in a heads-up play by Colby Thomas to go to second base. Like I said, I believe he is out over there, but they called him safe. Orleans catches a break.
First pitch swinging high and towards Joe Lampe in center. He comes into shallow center and completes out number 1. That was a high hit ball by Chase DeLauder.
Yeah, give the Braves pitching staff a good amount of credit tonight. DeLauder has been on base twice, just 1 hit though. It was a single back in the first inning. Since then, a strikeout, and then actually Kelsey Ward, that was probably his best at-bat. Threw about 8-9 pitches in the strike zone. DeLauder, just way too good of a hitter, was able to spoil him away, work his way into a 3-2 count, and eventually Ward missed the strike zone, worked a walk. But the Braves pitching staff has handled Chase DeLauder well tonight. That's one thing they have actually done well.
Xavier, now breaking ball is going to get past Garcia, and to third is going to be Luke Keeschel.
And if you're an Orleans fan right now, you're loving this inning because all the momentum was on the Braves' side. After the 3-run homer by Colby Thomas, the Braves cut this to a 2-run game. They had the tying run at the plate, and you were looking to go to Xavier Lovett and get a shutdown inning here, and the Firebirds already have 1 run in, and now a guy on third with less than 2 outs. Hopefully, if you're rooting for the Firebirds here, hopefully Tyler Locklear, who already has a 3-run home run to his name tonight, can just put the ball in play as the Braves do have the infield in.
Locklear with a hard hit. Line drive just foul down the third base line. And Calvin, something that Reeves and I were mentioning earlier on, too, is that, you know, a handful of stolen bases from the Firebirds, but hasn't been much notice from the pitchers as far as checking them tonight, and a slower delivery from Jake Bennett. Not necessarily Garcia's fault. He's throwing them on the money. It's just a bit too late. And these Orleans Firebirds are getting a great jump whenever they want to take over a bag. 2-1 now.
Yeah, maybe it's true. Garcia, like I mentioned, the ball did beat him once. Jake Bennett, the left-handed pitcher, you don't naturally throw over as much as a left-handed pitcher because the leads aren't as big. Because they know you just got to lift your leg and throw over there.
Now 3-1, another breaking ball missing on the outer half. 3-1, Keishel remains at third. But Garcia, the great job of breaking the ice and getting his first hit down here on the Cape. Costello now in the game, fouled by Tyler Locklear back into the net. 3-2, a payoff pitch, and boy, is this an important one if we want to stay in this game. It's 7-4. The Firebirds have responded by scoring 1 this half inning. On deck is going to be Jake Bolger from Vanderbilt. Love it from the stretch. High, deep drive to right field. Going after it is Colby Thomas. That's going to be in a deep part of this field. Keishel tags up the throw from Thomas. It's going to go through Dalton Rushing, and safe is Keishel for the 8th run for the Firebirds, and they extend their lead to 4. 8-4. The Firebirds have tacked on 2 after the Braves have tacked on 4 in the top of the 7th. 2 outs, and Xavier Lovett getting hit up a little bit. And something that we haven't seen is him really go in between 2 different innings. He's usually the guy to get out of a jam, but once he's out of that jam, we don't see him anymore.
Yeah, and the Braves bullpen is just starting to get warm up again. It looks like Frank Doling's getting loose down there. And on that fly ball, it was actually a very good throw home by Colby Thomas. Yes, the ball was hit way too deep for any play to be made unless, the base runner tripped or had a really, really poor jump. He wasn't going to get the runner from home. But a good throw by Colby Thomas, who hit the home run, did boot the ball in right field. I still think that he was out going to second base. And you never know with this Braves team how big that call is going to be. Because you look at this, a 4-run game versus a 3-run game at this point in the night, it's very, very critical. The Braves only with 2 at-bats to go.
First pitch foul from Bolger. Here comes the 0-1. And you could say the same thing about Jake Bennett and Dalton Rushing's miscommunication in the first that led to the Locklear home run.
Yeah, that was a tough play, though. That was one of those infield singles kind of in no man's land. I don't know if it was a miscommunication as much as it was just a perfectly placed swinging bunt down the first base
Just
line.
in no man's land. Another
Absolutely.
infield single,
Yeah.
but 0-2 now to Bolger as he swings and misses on one in the dirt. A breaking ball from Lovett. No one on, but remains from the stretch. The 0-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Chopped foul. Bolger stays alive and looking around the Cape.
So, yeah, looking around here, the Braves have, with the result in Falmouth tonight, actually in Chatham, the Chatham Anglers have beaten the Falmouth Commodores. So the Braves, regardless of the outcome tonight, have clinched the West Division title. They will be the 1 seed in the West heading to the postseason after Chatham took down Falmouth tonight at Veterans Field.
The 0-2 responded. Jake Bolger slaps one in between Dalton Rushing and Zach Agnos for a base knock with 2 outs. Xavier Lovett continues this half inning. And as you mentioned, Calvin, for the first time since 2014, the Bourne Braves have the 1 spot in the West Division going into the playoffs that are just around the corner after the Chatham Anglers have defeated the Falmouth Commodores 3-1. The first time that we can really say that we're proud of the Chatham Anglers for showing up with the bats.
Yeah, it's obviously nice the Braves get that done tonight. You don't want it to wait any longer, even though there's 9 games left in the season. You don't want, that lingering over your head. You like to clinch and see what you have going forward. But it's kind of, not as exciting when you do it in a loss, right?
Yeah.
You want it to be a celebratory time. You want to win the division on your own terms. You don't want help. You know, the Chatham Anglers, great help tonight. They clinched the division for the Braves, but you'd much rather do it with a win.
Mm-hmm.
Do it on your terms rather than someone else's terms. The Braves will take it tonight because regardless of the outcome, they'll be getting back on the bus to go to Bourne as the West Division champions. They'll have a new cup in the press box. But, you know, it's still not as happy as a moment as it could be if the Braves were, you know, on the other side of the 8-4 scoreboard right now.
Most certainly, Calvin. A 2-0 to Trey Harmon turns into 3-0 after a 90-mile-per-hour fastball skips into the glove of John Garcia. But the Braves are champions of the West nonetheless, and this is a time in the season where you know you're going to have that one spot, and it might be a time with new players and the lineup whittling down for Harvey Shapiro to try a few new things to see how we're going to approach the playoffs. A fourth pitch high and a walk for Trey Harmon. Men on first and second, and Xavier Lovett is struggling here in the bottom of the seventh. And something that we've talked about is, you know, putting in Kelsey Ward and maybe even giving Costello a look and trying out these new guys at new positions and seeing how the lineup moves, moving Tanner Schobel up to the 5 spot. It's an opportunity now with the 1 spot secured for Harvey Shapiro to see what is going to best work moving into the playoffs as Eddie Marco has a meeting at the mound with Xavier Lovett.
Yeah, well, he definitely had insurance to begin with because the Braves would need a disaster, put it frankly, to not get the 1 seed. They were already in the playoffs regardless. So, you know, he had that support already. Like, Lucas Costello, he wasn't supposed to be in the game tonight. There's no questioning that. Nick Goodwin got the start, hit that foul ball off his shin. That foul ball then bruised. It got stolen. He started cramping, so he was out of the game. And Lucas Costello, who just arrived on the Cape today, was forced into action, which is unfortunate. He struggled at the plate, 3 strikeouts tonight. But yeah, you can, you know, test the waters with him, test the waters with some more guys. I don't think this Braves roster is done getting position players in. So there's going to be some more guys added to the Bravos roster before postseason time. So hopefully that 10-game buffer will give them some reps, give them game action. So if their number is called in the postseason run, they'll be ready to go.
Fouled off by Guillemette from the first pitch from Xavier Lovett after the Eddie Marco mound visit. Men on first and second for the Firebirds in black. The Bourne Braves in their classic road blues. Another breaking ball that gets off the chest pad of John Garcia. Both base runners are going to advance. Men on second and third now, and Xavier Lovett having a hard time finding the strike zone, particularly with the breaking ball, but just in general in this half inning. And as we mentioned, we don't see him much after he gets us out of a jam, and he was able to after Kelsey Ward was struggling.
And that's a really tough pitch to block for Garcia behind the plate. It was a curveball that didn't even get close to the plate. Probably about a 58-foot breaking pitch. And those breaking balls, even though they're coming, spinning right to left, it bounces back. It's coming in left to right. But when it hits the dirt, it bounces back right to left. So that's a really hard pitch to slide over and have to block. It's definitely going to be scored a wild pitch on Lovett. And unfortunately, the base runners advance a base apiece.
2-1. Another fastball high. It gets over the glove of Garcia. The throw. Xavier Lovett with the tag at home. He's going to be called safe. Another run scored for the Orleans Firebirds off a 2-1 fastball high, getting over the glove of Garcia. And another Firebird scores.
And that was a very close play at the plate. It is a brick backstop here at Eldridge Park, but there is a pad. It hit the padded area, bounced back to a pretty good position for Garcia to turn around and throw. It would have been very interesting if Xavier Lovett would have held onto the ball, if an out would have been called there, but Lovett couldn't keep it controlled in his mitt when he was placing the tag. It comes out of his glove, so the runner is scored safely.
Bolger scores, and another hard hit ball for an RBI. That is going to be Marcano.
And you got to imagine this is the end here for Lovett.
And boy, Lovett is really struggling here. 10-4. The Firebirds have responded to Colby Thomas's bomb with one heck of a rally themselves. 10-4 with 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. And here comes Eddie Marco, and I believe we're going to have a pitching change. We'll tell you about the new pitcher after Xavier Lovett's night is ended here in the bottom of the 7th at Eldridge Park. Welcome back to Eldridge Park. It's still the bottom of the 7th. Frank Doling is going to take over for Xavier Lovett. And the first pitch he throws is taken high. In comes Tanner Schobel at short, and that is going to do it. So Frank Doling comes in, Calvin, one pitch, and it's a pop-up right into the glove of Tanner Schobel at short, and not necessarily the outing the Braves and Xavier Lovett was looking for. Now down 10-4, but we have secured the West Division title tonight after the Falmouth Commodores dropped a loss to the Chatham Anglers, and the Braves, it might be a bittersweet night here in New Orleans.
Yeah, it might be. You know, the Braves win the division. They're probably going to lose this game, barring a big comeback. But good for Frank Doling. You talked about some guys getting experience with the Braves, you know, winning so far and winning the West Division. Frank Doling, a guy who in his first appearance gave up 2 runs in 2 innings, comes in. He'll get this inning. He'll probably get the next inning, the left-hander from Ryder. Gets 1 pitch, 1 out. We'll see how he does in the 8th, but this is an opportunity to see what the Braves have in Frank Doling.
Absolutely. Well, always a pleasure to have you on. We're at the top of the 8th here at Orleans, 10-4. The Firebirds have fired out to a 6-run lead after Xavier Lovett led up a handful, and Frank Doling had to come in and clean up the job. Thank you, Calvin. It's always a pleasure having you on, and we will have you on soon enough.
Hey, thanks, Daniel.
Reeves Jackson back on with me here in the top of the 8th. Only 2 more opportunities at the plate for the Bourne Braves. Zach Agnos, one of the first 2 ECU Pirates we are going to have a look at against Wallerstead, the Arizona State kid who starts him off with a fastball high, swing and a miss. Wallerstead took to the mound on July 23rd against Bourne. Fouled off by Agnos, now an 0-2 count quickly, and we have Reeves Jackson to my side. Calvin Cristoforo has gone back onto the field.
That was a long break for myself.
But that was certainly a long break and not the inning we hoped for or expected. Another high fastball. That is going to be the first ball of the at-bat. Now 1-2. But Wallerstead again coming in, and as you said, discouraged. Boy, is he good. Check swing, but the breaking ball is going to hit the zone no matter what. Down goes Zach Agnos, and here comes his college teammate, Joshua Moylan, just behind him. Moylan's been hitting it well, but the Braves, it just doesn't seem to be their night at the moment, as the Firebirds have put up double-digit runs, but the Braves have secured the West Division, Reeves.
Yes, they have. Obviously, with Chatham losing, Chatham beating Falmouth tonight 3-1.
Ball low and outside to Moylan from Wallerstead.
I'm going to say with Falmouth losing, yeah, Braves locked up the West Division. First time since 2014.
Hard hit ground ball right to the first baseman into the glove of Harmon. He tosses it over to Wallerstead for out number 2. And Joshua Moylan continues to hit it hard, but the Braves cannot catch a break tonight. Here comes John Garcia. He got his first hit of the day, or of the season, I should say, back in the 5th. He struck out his last appearance, but the Braves, as I was mentioning, it's just they've been hit up pretty well. They can't really string together offense other than the Colby Thomas bomb just an inning ago. First pitch to Garcia, drifts on the outside corner, 1-0. Wallerstead from the windup, inside but called a strike. 91-mile-per-hour fastball.
You know how much Joe Lampe wants to face his teammate at Arizona State and Wallerstedt, something we talked about on the podcast when I was on with Nick Galley, so fun conversation to have.
1-1 taken foul, line drive into the fans. Seems everyone is okay out there. 1-2. Garcia, the catcher from Grambling State. This is his second start of the season. Peter Burns was the catcher and, of course, the hero in the last appearance that we had against the Firebirds. 2-2. Fastball missing low and outside. As I mentioned, Wallerstedt was given the loss against the 3-4 victory we had against the Firebirds. Breaking ball just missing low and inside, and a full count. Garcia stays alive, and Joe Lampe, the Arizona State Sun Devil, looking to face his own college teammate, pending a Garcia payoff pitch here. Full count. Swing and a miss. Garcia goes down on a full count. 80-mile-per-hour breaking ball from Wallerstedt, and he goes 1-2-3 and sends this game to the bottom of the 8th as the Braves trail by 6. 10-4, the home team has the lead. Chanier, the Ole Miss Rebel, to start things off in the bottom of the 8th, where this game was just blown up by the Firebirds in the 7th. Colby Thomas got the home run and put the Braves to 4 runs, but the Firebirds responded in kind and put up double-digit runs, 10-4. First pitch drifts outside to Chatinier, the second baseman for Frank Doling from Ryder, who threw one pitch in the bottom of the 7th, coming in after Xavier Lovett was hit up a bit.
Yeah, Xavier Lovett, not his night. He struggled of late, so hoping Xavier can turn it around. Still going to need Xavier for the postseason. Need as many relievers as we can possibly get right now with a few departures we expect. Nick was on. When Nick was on, we talked about that. Obviously, not naming guys, but I've heard that expect a few guys to be heading out due to just normal circumstances of summer baseball. So need Xavier to keep on chugging along for us. Just not his night, but he'll get him back.
2-0 now. Frank Doling misses.
As you take a look at the Eastern Division, now Brewster and Harwich, a battle of first and second place teams tonight. Brewster ended up taking out 4-3. Harwich had a late comeback with 3 runs, but unable to tie the game and lost by 1. A swing and a miss there by Chatinier. But honestly, you look at the struggles of YD, Daniel, and you look at obviously Chatham and Orleans, who are way back in the Eastern Division. And honestly, with 9 games left, it would take a lot for it not to be Brewster and Harwich. Might be your 2 Eastern Division teams who was so close for so long. Those 2 teams have really pulled away from the pack in the East as that one's fouled away.
2-2 now. Battled off an 87-mile-per-hour fastball from Frank Doling.
Well, you look at the West Division. Obviously, it goes by win percentage, not by points. So Falmouth would still have the 2 seed. Wareham, who won tonight.
Doling, breaking ball. That drops short. Check swing called off in a full count. Trying to bait Chatinier into a breaking ball that dropped well before the plate. A full count payoff pitch coming up.
And then you have Wareham in 3rd. How about Catuit? All the way down in 4th, a 10-run loss to Hyannis tonight. Catuit, their playoff hopes not looking good at the moment.
Full count. Fastball high, and Doling walks the second batter he sees, the first of this bottom of the 8th. And here comes the 2-spot hitter, Justin Mickness. We saw him just an inning ago. He got the first run across of that half inning. Doling from Ryder only took 1 pitch to get out of the bottom of the 7th. Fastball high and inside for ball 1. On a cool night as the crowd has started to dwindle away. This is actually Costello pinch hitting now from Northeastern. He's 6 for 20 with a 300 average. Pitch low by the ankles of Costello, misses. It's now 2-0. Doling looking to find the zone here. 4 strikes off 6 balls in the 10 pitches we've seen from him. Mickness, I should say Chatinier on first. Mickness being pinch hit for by Costello.
Any relation to our left fielder now?
Exactly. I'm not sure. I'll tell you what, these Northeastern Huskies are represented well.
They are. Tell you what. But the Northeast in the baseball represented strongly up here. Love it.
2-1,
Cool.
swung on and missed.
Cool to see a different region for myself. Obviously, Southeast with really a baseball powerhouse down there, but to see all of the talent up here in the Northeast as far as baseball goes, pretty cool to get another perspective on the region and the talent up here as well. A lot of it.
Costello takes a foul ball behind the press box here at Eldridge Park. 2-2. Doling desperately looking for his first out of the bottom of the 8th. He'll be dealing from the stretch, but, you know, a bevy of schools down there in Northeastern just represented well. They had an impressive 2021 campaign that led to a regional appearance after winning the CAA. A breaking ball, that's a called 3rd strike, and down goes the pinch hitter, Northeastern Husky Costello. Ryder and Doling get the advantage. Kieshel up to the plate. Chatinier remains at first. 10-4 in the bottom of the 8th. The Braves will have one last opportunity to try and chip away at this Firebird lead. Fouled off the first pitch from Kieshel. Fastball. Doling at 86, taken into the net. Kieshel on the day is 2 for 4. He's batting a 408 clip coming into today. That is far and away the best average from a Firebird this season.
Yeah, Kieshel, 21 for his last 44 at the plate. Are you kidding me?
That breaking ball catches him looking. 0-2. And, you know, that's just outstanding stuff from Kieshel, who is 2 for 4 today. He singled in the first and singled back in the 7th. Also scored against Xavier Lovett. 0-2 and an opportunity here from Doling. Dealing from the stretch. Fouled off. Kieshel stays alive. Chatinier stays at first.
Yeah, with the Braves letting up 10 runs tonight, their runs allowed will go to at least 93, depending on if Orleans scores again. Will still be the only team in the Cape that has yet to allow 100 runs this year, although the pitching staff has had some rough outings and rough goes as of lately over the course of the past week. 7 against Harwich last night, 10 tonight against Orleans. That's 17 runs given up in the past 2 nights against Eastern Division foes.
0-2, taking Colby Thomas's way high. He catches that one and sends Chatinier back to first base. Down goes Kieshel. He is 2 for 5 on the night, and Doling 1 out away from sending the Braves back to the plate. He'll have to face DeLauder, though, who was overtaken as the home run king tonight by his teammate who's on deck, Tyler Locklear.
Yeah, how about that? And 2 Orleans Firebirds leading the league in homers. Orleans as a team leads the league. Well, that's pretty obvious when you have 17 from 2 guys.
There goes Chatinier. The throw from Garcia called safe. And boy, that was as close as it's going to get. Garcia does not agree, and I don't think my color guy to my right agrees either.
No, I thought he got the tag on him well before the hand got in there. I don't think that was really particularly close, but doesn't go the Bourne Braves' way.
That's as good of a jump as Garcia got all night, too, and as good as of a throw. It skipped once over the grass and into the glove of Schobel. I thought he got the tag on, but
yeah, it was a perfect throw, perfect tag. I don't know if maybe the hand got in there. Obviously, plate umpire or the second base umpire, had a better view, but
breaking ball low and outside. Garcia keeps it in front of him. Keeps Chatinier at second.
It's just really compelling to me. Who is going to get that 2 seed in the West? I know we keep talking about it, but it just, between Wareham, Falmouth, Katuitt, what a final 9 games that's going to be. Those 3 teams, battling it out. Braves get Katuitt tomorrow at Lowell Park. They need to win tomorrow.
1-1.
They were expecting, no one missed high, 2-1. They were expecting, all right, we'll roll into McKeon Park and we'll pick up a win. And then obviously they're like, okay, but we'll win tonight at Hyannis. We could afford to lose a game at Bourne, or versus Bourne, at Lowell. Now tomorrow's a must-win for Katuitt. They really need to get it.
And even you look at the West Division, talk about the East Division a little bit as that fastball catches low and outside. I mean, they're already in playoff mode. You look at the top teams. It's the Brewster Whitecaps with 39 points, Harwich behind them with 36, then YD with 29, Chatham with 25, Orleans at the bottom in the 5 spot with 24. So, I mean, they're already in playoff mode.
Yeah, they are, especially of late. They've really taken control.
2-2 low, breaking ball in the dirt. Garcia keeps that between his legs. Full count with 2 outs. We could be seeing the last pitch here from Doling.
Well, really recent trends kind of tell me the whole picture, at least of late. And Katuitt, 2-7-1 in their past 10. They tied against Wareham a night ago. The Gatemen at 11-14-5, Falmouth 12-14-2, Katuitt 12-16-1 in 4th place. A negative 17 run differential might be Wareham's or Falmouth. Those 2 teams just battling it out, though.
The payoff pitch misses high. And down goes Chase DeLauder to first. Doling unable to ring him up with a full count. Chatinier at second behind him. DeLauder, and here comes Tyler Locklear, who really broke this game open with a 3-run shot back in the bottom of the first off of Jake Bennett, who, as Calvin and I and even you and I discussed, Reeves, had a good outing as opposed to the stat line that will be shown after this game.
Yeah. Jake obviously a 3-run homer, but some things could have gone his way. There were infield singles and little choppers, and obviously unfortunate for Jake. The 3 runs could have been avoided, but just from an overall standpoint, not the Braves pitching staff, not their day today.
1-0 to Tyler Locklear, a fastball high and outside. 2 outs, Chatagnier at second. Behind him, DeLauder at first. Both taking leads, but the infield more concerned about this batter in Locklear, who was 1 for 3 on the day, including a homer in the first, I should say. Fastball drifting high there for the second ball, 2-0. 86, sitting a little bit higher than that, most often around 88. Doling from Ryder in his second appearance for the Braves this season. A clap beginning from the fans here at Eldridge Park. 3 balls in a row. Garcia has to stab at that one that's low and inside to Locklear, keeping the base runners at their respective positions. 3-0. Doling just looking for the strike zone here. Chopped on a 3-0 count. And just like that, Doling is back in it. Locklear swung at what looked to be like a ball that was drifting lower than his knees.
Yeah, interesting. Had the 3-0 green light. Obviously heard the clap from the clap from the crowd and wanted to offer at it.
They've started it on the last 2 pitches, and they started again here. 3-1. Chatagnier still has the lead at second. Fastball on the inner half, 3-2, and a good pitch from Doling. The swing from Locklear could prove costly here. A full count after a foul ball off a 3-0 count. Now Doling seems to find the zone.
Got to get him right here. Can't afford another walk.
3-2, another opportunity with a payoff pitch. This one taken high and deep to center field. Here comes Joe Lampe. He goes to his knees and secures it on the way, coming into shallow center field. And that is a sigh of relief for Doling in this Braves defense. They keep the Orleans Firebirds at 10. A 6-run comeback is what is needed here if we want to escape Orleans with a tie or better. 10-4, the Braves are at the plate for the final time tonight, just after the break. Welcome back to the top of the 9th, and what is the final opportunity for the Braves to post runs in a game that they are now trailing by 6, an East versus West Division matchup in a night where the Braves have already clinched the 1 spot in the West Division going into the playoffs for the first time since 2014, thanks to the Falmouth Commodores dropping a game against the Chatham Anglers. They still have a bittersweet taste in their mouth now as they are looking to overcome a 6-run deficit against the Orleans Firebirds. Joe Lampe will start things off in the top of the 9th, a game that just hasn't really been ours. The Firebirds have responded to each and every swing we've thrown at them.
Indeed, they have. Top of the 9th inning, Jared Southard on. 1-0, a 6.75 ERA. Just his second appearance coming from Texas as Joe Lampe will lead off the Braves top of the order in their last opportunity. 92 on the gun from Southard. Works solely out of the stretch. As his pants kind of rolled up at the ankles a bit, you can see those black socks. He's got the tan glove. And Lampe grounds over to first. And a flip over to Southard. And the first out, Lampe taken care of with the ground out. Well, the Braves are staring their first losing streak dead in the face. Would be the first time this season they have dropped consecutive games. And just thinking about that in game number 29, that is impressive. It takes till game 29 for your first losing streak. How about that for the Braves?
I mean, that is an astounding accomplishment. And as bittersweet as tonight is, to have the ability to walk away and arrive back in Bourne tonight with the number 1 spot in the West Division, obviously maybe not the result that we're going to get tonight, but the result that we wanted as a whole has come to us tonight.
Indeed it has.
And obviously there's more coming in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing in one here to Anderson. Took a first pitch strike and now pops this one up on the infield. Who wants it? Is it Locklear or Marcano? It'll be Marcano. He makes the catch for out number 2. Obviously, Braves would have loved to do it in winning fashion tonight, but as we talked about with the Falmouth loss, the Braves are division champs, and they'll just have to do it in winning ways tomorrow at Katuitt. As Dalton Rushing, the final hope for the Braves here tonight, trailing 10-4. Here in the top of the 9th, Jared Southard, the right-hander, trying to close it out. As Rushing fouls that one off of what appeared to be his foot. Well, the Braves have won in 8 stadiums this year. They are looking like they will not pick up a win here in Orleans. They tied here earlier this year by a final score of 2-2. They beat Orleans on the walk-off a few nights ago. But it appears they'll be 8 for 9 when it comes to winning at opposing team stadiums. Orleans, the elusive one that they will not catch.
And unless Orleans makes one astounding comeback and is able to make it to the championship as the representatives of the East Division, we're not going to get that.
Rushing slaps this one high and deep to left center field, and that ball is going to sail out of here. Dalton Rushing with a home run to left center, and the Braves have their 5th run of the night, his 5th home run of the season.
What a bomb from Dalton Rushing. That's what we were seeing from him in batting practice before this game. 10-5. We're chipping away, but just not the time and not the situation that we needed that. A couple innings ago would have been great, but how about that from Dalton Rushing, who has just broken his cold streak?
Wasn't sure if that ball was going to get out off the crack of the bat, but sailed away. Here is Colby Thomas, who swings and misses at a breaking ball. 0-1. Colby, obviously the big 3-run homer, one of the longest home runs the Braves have hit this season. They have 8 hits tonight, 5 runs. They've committed 2 errors defensively. In Orleans, 10 runs on 10 hits. Southard, 0-1, and Colby cuts through a breaking ball. That one was sweeping away. Good pitch there, 0-2. Braves down to their final strike of the night. Southard, who gave up 1 run in an inning and a thirds against Brewster on July 21st, so about a week ago, as Colby watches a breaking ball, 1-2.
Yeah, 1-2 to Colby, who had that deep drive to left field, and talk about a home run frenzy here tonight. And we talked with the broadcasters from Orleans. This is the amount of home runs that you usually expect.
Ooh, wow. That ball, a wild pitch. It missed Colby. It missed the catcher's mitt, and that just slammed into the home plate umpire, and he is in serious pain. That was a 93 from Southard. Oh, boy. Coach Kelly out for Orleans, going to check on him. So is the trainer and the field umpires coming in to check on their crewmate. Oh, my. I wasn't sure if it got Colby in the back. I heard it hit flush, and it looked like that got off of the arm. The left arm of the home plate umpire. He is in serious pain.
The left elbow, to be more specific.
Okay. Wow. Ari Shapiro over to check as well. An umpire who, in our opinion tonight, Daniel, has called a fantastic game. And he's done a great job. He's been very consistent. And he's good to go.
The irony is that it's
one strike away from the final out.
One strike away from this game ending, and it's a 2-2 count, one strike away, and he gets slammed in the left elbow.
So it'll be a 2-2 count. Now the home plate umpire's like, all right, just get me out of here. Let's get this game over with. Got to go ice my elbow now.
And a guy who's been hit by a pitch twice, Tanner Schobel on deck. He knows a thing or two about contacting the ball.
And one off the helmet earlier. 2-2 here to Colby. That's downstairs, full count. Well, if Tanner gets up, he'll look to avoid his third hit by pitch. He knows he doesn't want that. 3-2. Tanner right here next to us in the on-deck circle. Count full here to Colby. Jared Southard looking to wrap it up. Full count delivery. And a called strike 3. That'll take care of things here tonight. The Orleans Firebirds get it done and take care of the Braves 10-5 behind 2 long 3-run homers from Tyler Locklear and Trey Harmon. They went out to a 6-0 lead. The Braves battled back with 4 runs of their own, including a Colby Thomas 3-run homer, but Orleans answered with Bourne's 4 with 4 of their own in the home 7th. In a 8-run 7th inning combined, the Braves pick up a solo homer from Dalton Rushing, but fall by 5. But as we mentioned, bittersweet in it all, the Braves clinch the Western Division. They win it and walk up the #1 overall seed in the West come playoff time against either Falmouth, Catuit, or Wareham. So bittersweet night for the Braves. They'll look to get back in action tomorrow night. Daniel, what are some takeaways from tonight's loss?
Well, the takeaway is that now we're looking towards playoff time, and we're looking towards the horizon. What we wanted here against the Orleans Firebirds is walking away with the first win against us this season in our handful of matchups against them. But, you know, now it's time to construct your lineup, find out the rotation of the bullpen and your starters, and see what's going to work when it comes to playing a West Division team, and hopefully in a championship series. You know, we're missing a lot of guys. We're missing a lot of guys that got us to this point. We need guys now who can continue to produce and who can propel us through the playoffs. But, you know, these guys need to keep their heads high because they just won the West Division, and we're going to get some more hardware in our media box.
Yeah, obviously for the Braves, they still have a lot of question marks on their roster for a team that had many certainties, Daniel. A lot of question marks for how this team will fill the roster for the remainder of the season. Obviously, once Costello came into left field, Peter Burns was the only bench bat. But the Braves obviously will figure it out. Plenty of time to do it here in the remaining week and a half, I guess you could say week and a half before the playoffs begin. But the Bourne Braves win the Western Division for the first time since 2014. The first time in 6 years they have accomplished that feat. A lot to be proud about for a team that is now 21-5-3. They go down to the hands of the Orleans Firebirds. They allow the most runs they've allowed all season with a 10 spot tonight, and Orleans takes this one by a final score of 10-5. The Braves are in Catuit tomorrow to face the Kettleers. For Daniel Coates, my name is Reeves Jackson. We'll be right back with you 4:30 first pitch tomorrow from Lowell Park. We'll have it for you on the Bourne Braves YouTube live stream, audio only tomorrow before we are back at home to face our Eastern counterpart, the YD Red Sox, on Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow night from Lowell Park, and say good night here from Orleans.